Marshall, right down the street here in the greater Dane County area. And then there are 2 other programs that were up there. And so all in all, a lot of helmets, a lot of supplies given away in American Family Insurance. And the Packers have teamed up. It was a really cool event. And then they had a surprise guest appearance. I was a, appetizer. I was there when they were serving lunch, and the kids were able to come over. We had a table full, asking all kinds of great questions. And then A.J. Dillon comes with all the helmets in the back room. The curtain opens up, and whoop, there we go. So it was, and it made me think, because as we said yesterday up in the shadows of Lambeau, that there's a new sheriff in town. It's a new era of Packers football that is coming. And I asked Vinny and the boys on Wisconsin's Morning News this morning, and I ask you, if you could have any current player join you for a weekly hit for this year's football team, who you picking? I got 4 different answers from the boys. What would Jesse and Jason say if Wilde Tausch got a chance to have a current player be the weekly guest spot on our show?
So I'm going to let Jesse go first because I'm in the locker room
Aiden
all the
O'Connell.
time. Yeah, I just finished writing about him for tomorrow's quarterback preview in the Wisconsin State Journal. So here's my problem. As is often the case, you ask a simple question and I make it difficult.
Yeah.
You're having them as a guest on the show, or you're having them as a guest at like an event like A.J. Dillon was at yesterday?
No. It's the same principle, though.
Yeah, but
that's the thing that you
But here's the problem.
Weekly guest to analyze game and have some fun with. Who you picking?
See, I would like to pick Jair Alexander, but you never know what you're going to get when you talk to him.
That's the beauty of it. That's why this
it could be really bad radio on some days.
That's the trick. You can go with a steady pick. And so here's what happened. Because I knew what was happening, I got a run of show when I got there. I knew A.J. Dillon was coming, so I asked. A lot of the players. I'll say this: as I sat there, I wanted to get an idea of what high school kids thought of Aaron Rodgers, and I whispered because there's a lot of Packer personnel people around. I said, "Hey, guys, do you guys think the Packers are making a big mistake by letting Aaron Rodgers go?" And I said, "Hey, if you guys think that they're making a big mistake letting Aaron go, raise your hand." 15 kids, 13 high school football players raised their hand. That's not funny. It was
maybe Mark Murphy would find it funny and laugh that way.
No, I don't think Mark would have found that funny. And then I asked some of the Packer folks, I said, from a marketing standpoint, who are people asking for the most? And A.J. Dillon's right at the top, but Aaron Jones wins that running away. So I said Aaron Jones this morning. I think Brandon said David Bakhtiari. Vinny said Jordan Love. And I think there was a A.J. Dillon. So it was just, the whole thing has been interesting because when you have the quarterback, nobody really knows Jordan. Nobody knows what kind of personality as far as the, how he would be on engagement-wise and everything else. So it is really fascinating to kind of look back and see where this Packer team is headed and who is going to be the face. But Jordan Love's going to be the face of it, whether you like it or not. And how he handles it is something that I think a lot of people are interested in seeing.
All right, my picks.
For the record, I don't. Okay, go ahead. Did I filibuster enough time to let you pick?
I didn't.
Without asking.
I didn't need you to filibuster. I needed to understand what you want because, again, the guest thing is risky.
Hey, Jesse.
Going to an event and hanging out with a guy is different
than
15 minutes on the radio.
Jason, I specifically said a weekly, regular 15-minute hit on the radio. I didn't say
but that's
come
not
and
what
shake
you did
hands
yesterday.
with people.
You
Jesse,
did an event yesterday.
I used that as a preface. Jesse, Was the question crystal clear, or am I gargling?
The question you are currently asking is crystal clear. It is not the same question
on
you
the rundown is different.
It is not the same question you texted us.
That's
question
not
you are
the
asking
rundown
now is
question.
clear.
I just explained what happened, and I said we could marry the two. This isn't rocket science. All right, I'm not going to fight with you, Jason. Who do you got as a 15-minute? No, you're just being obtuse this morning, but that's
all right. I have two. I have two that I would like to have alternate
you only get one.
on a weekly basis.
You only get
only one.
No, it's not how this works.
Nope. Well, so here's the first part. Jesse would have to have the dump button ready, but I like Rasul Douglas. He and Kenny Clark won our Tom Mulhern Award for stand-up guy last season, but he has a tendency to use some colorful language from time to time, so Jesse would be challenged in that realm. The other guy that I really like, he's not quite as colorful as you were as a starting offensive lineman, but he's kind of got that same likability, easygoing, fun. I'm taking Elton Jenkins.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So those are, again, there could be some weekly radio interview challenges affiliated with both, but those are the two guys I would pick. Now, Bakhtiari,
so
I would
funny
have thought
because
would run away with this.
I swear I asked for one, but you took liberties, and that's fine. I love a good liberty taking. Lord knows I do it enough. And I was under the impression Aaron Jones is a great ambassador for the Green Bay Packers.
No doubt.
We've said that, and I think he'd be fine. I'm not going to pick him. Brandon from this morning's show kind of really made me rethink this. Because I was thinking, let's go with Jordan. I would pick Jordan Love just because I know the interest is there and that people are just clamoring for more Jordan Love info.
Fair.
So I'd pick Jordan Love. That's what I would do. But if I'm wildying it and I'm taking a second, I have to admit, for our show, David Bakhtiari, because David is going to remind you a lot of like your grandparents when they're 85 plus and they are going to speak whatever they want. They don't give a rip. Like we would used to go see when Sarah's grandma was in like the hospice and the hospital care, and you knew her time was coming. She would speak her mind, and you always went in there like, God, is she going to tell me she can't stand me? You just got that vibe that she's going to shoot straight from the hip, and she don't give no blanks. And there's something that I think would be really fun. David Bakhtiari's time in Green Bay is there. He would give no blanks. He would talk about, I think he would be as open and honest, and I think I have to, as much as I'd love to learn more about Jordan Love, I think the summer of Bakhtiari would be fascinating because he's not going to give two blanks about anything, and he's going to speak his mind. He's going to speak his truth. He is going to be crystal clear with where his head's at. There's not going to be any reining back, team talk, and all of the other coach speak that you get a lot of times when you do that.
So did Sarah's grandma at any point tell you she didn't think very highly of you during that era, or did she tell you how much she loved you and what a wonderful guy you are?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Okay.
A little taste of both.
Look, David Bakhtiari is probably their most colorful character they have left on the roster, right? Totally great pick. Would you pick him for the event you did with AmFam? I know he's done some ambassador work for them as well. Or is A.J. Dillon or, the Property Brothers, are you going a different direction if you're doing an event? Because that was your original question.
Yes, it's not my original question. It was my text original question. It's not my original radio question.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
My bad.
From an event standpoint, I would go Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon, now we've done Feeding America. He is just super engaging and charismatic and gets it. Aaron Jones gets it. So from a company standpoint, absolutely 1,000%. If you're a company and you want to do that, those are your guys that I would lean on probably the most. But for me and for entertainment purposes only, it's Jordan or D-Bach, and I'm going D-Bach strictly because I think he doesn't give no blanks.
If we're voting between those two, as much as you want Grandpa Dave to be unfiltered, I'm taking Jordan Love because I would love to have him every week. It would be interesting to go through his first-year journey with him talking about it every week. I don't think that would always be easy, though, because I think there's going to be some highs, and it's going to be if you have him every week. It's going to be fun to talk about how well he played, and then there's going to be some lows where it's not going to be quite as fun. And I think we'll see. I'm eager to see his personality. I'm not going to compare him to Romeo Dobbs as the most even-keeled player I've ever covered. But he does seem to be kind of that flatline guy. We'll see what he can actually do, though, in handling all those peaks and valleys once he's actually the starter. Because when he is talked as the backup and the uncertainty and everything else, he does seem like he kind of rolls with the punches pretty well, but it's a heck of a lot different when you're the starting quarterback and you're rolling with the punches of playing poorly or trying to contain the highs of having played well. Have you ever actually even spoken to him?
No.
Yeah, I'm eager to see what differences we see this year from him when he's in that role because, again, I had a great conversation with him last December before the aggregating world turned that into something that it actually wasn't. I'm glad you had a great time at the event. Did you get was the food good?
Yeah, it was normal stuff. Burgers, brats.
Okay, kind of like a tailgate party. That was a window into Tausch's experience with A.J. Dillon and my thoughts on who I'd want on the show every week. Whatever we talk about windows, we're looking through the windows of Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Another big win for the crew out in Seattle last night. Another big dub. And you can have a big dub if you're looking for new windows if you sign up with our team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And leading off is their innovative and award-winning Easy Slide horizontal windows. Reveals tons of natural light and beautiful unobstructed views. And next up in the order is Pella's premium roll screens like magic. The screen just rolls out of sight when you close that window. And on deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door. Like a great utility player, they can be placed anywhere on the field with custom sizes and colors that will fit your home's decor. Get 0% for 48 months. 48 months! 0% interest. I don't know if you've seen interest rates. This is one heck of a deal. You have to order by April 30th at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions do apply.
We'll get to how folks are viewing the idea of booing Aaron Rodgers a little bit later in the program. More next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, are you ready for a new shower? If you are, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for over 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
To be able to breathe properly when you sleep is a profound change. To be able to sleep properly is probably the most important thing you can do for your health, period. End of sentence. In order to sleep properly, you have to be able to breathe properly. If you can't breathe properly, you aren't going to sleep properly. It sounds sort of like simple and like I'm talking to a first grader, but I'm simply saying that most people don't recognize how profoundly impacted their sleep is by their breathing issues until we fix it. And so if we fix somebody's nose, we fix their sinuses, we make sure that their throat is staying open when they're sleeping at night, their body is for the first time ever breathing properly and therefore sleeping properly. And you kind of forget, like, oh, this was such a big deal for me before I got it fixed.
Breathe well with simple solutions at vetnose.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spring deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
Another series win for the Crew after a gem of a performance from Wade Miley on Sunday in San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, he used the slider, he used the cutter, fastball, changeup. So, yeah, he used everything, and that's, again, that's four pitches at four different speeds, and he throws them in different places in the strike zone, and it feels like you're never in a good count with Wade almost.
Brewers taking 3 of 4 in the series with both their hitting and pitching stepping up in the 4-game set. The road trip now hits Seattle for a 3-game series against the Mariners to start the week before returning to AmFam Field this weekend to take on the Red Sox.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Milwaukee has relied on Wilde Automotive to keep them on the road for almost 60 years. We've been on a mission to provide the best experience whether you're servicing your car or shopping for a new one. Wilde may span across southeast Wisconsin, but our commitment remains local. Our customers are our neighbors. We live, work, and raise our families together in the same communities. And that's why it's our goal to help you find the right car for your family.
Go to ewaldsauto.com.
I'm Ben Jewett with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. 2023 is our 135th year in business, making it the perfect time for our crew to help you create a workspace that will help you attract, retain, and grow your business. The office is the cultural hub of the organization. We can help with interior design, construction, new furniture, and move management. Like Milwaukee's baseball team, our crew excels at home and on the road. If your company has a national facilities footprint, we can hit for you in any ballpark. Championship organizations are built on teamwork and collaboration. Visit brothersinteriors.com to see how we can help your team win. Q Club of Wisconsin is the perfect game day destination to catch all of your favorite teams in action. With tons of TVs in their sports bar, plus drinks and great food, it's the place to be. Check out their fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays and brunch specials on the weekends. Plus, this year, Q Club of Wisconsin is the official football draft headquarters for ESPN Milwaukee. Catch 94.5 ESPN broadcasting live from Q Club of Wisconsin during round 1 of the draft on April 27th. Q Club of Wisconsin in Waukesha, QClubofWI.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Wouldn't it have been an incredible twist if the curtain is pulled back at Tausch's event yesterday and Aaron Rodgers emerges to announce that he's made the switch to American Family Insurance and he's bringing all these helmets with him?
Oh, snap.
That did not occur.
It did not. No.
Would he have been booed?
No.
I don't...
Not at this event. He would not have been.
All right, so I don't know exactly how this happened yesterday. I have to go back onto Wisconsin On Demand and figure out how we went down this rabbit hole.
Well, yeah, Homer doesn't talk about Aaron Rodgers anymore, though. He told us like a month ago that he was done. It was all Jordan Love, so it could have been on Homer and Tony. We're playing a little preemptive game of Where's Wilde. This could not have been on Homer and Tony because you guys don't talk about the quarterback anymore, right?
Yeah,
Where's Wilde?
He also said he wasn't responding to people on Twitter, and he's doing that too. So, again, and I know he's an avid listener to the show.
So you guys had a conversation about Aaron Rodgers on Homer and Tony.
We have that is where it occurred.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
It was.
That's interesting to me.
It was the discussion was if Rodgers shows up for a Bucs playoff game, which someone sent me. I don't know where this is from, but Peter Fagan from the Bucs was talking somewhere, and he flat out said they're expecting Rodgers at some of their games. I don't know if he's going to sit in a suite where he's not visible, or if he's going to toes on the hardwood, or
as an owner, you're sitting down there courtside. Yeah, you're sitting courtside, baby.
I don't know if he'll try and chug a beer or not. What I also don't know
he won't.
Is how he will be received. Because Homer and Tony and Gabe Neitzel, who is appearing on all of our shows across ESPN Wisconsin as part of his fundraising effort for the MAC Fund and ESPN Milwaukee Cares program, they all said they'd boo. And lots of people who responded. It has, just so you understand, and I don't know what, Jesse can explain to me what being ratioed is on Twitter, because I don't normally pay attention to the analytics of it. The tweet that I posted, if Aaron Rodgers showed up at Fiserv Forum for a Bucs playoff game, would you boo him? Would you cheer for him? Would you do nothing? I'm curious how Packers fans feel. Of all he's done or failed to do, what's egregious enough to merit being booed is what I asked. As of right now, it has 346 replies.
Okay.
And 227 likes. Is that ratioed? Did that get ratioed, Jesse?
Ratioed is when you get a lot more replies than you do likes, and that means you're basically stirring it up. You're causing a little chaos by saying something.
Not a baby Musk.
Going to get
That's
people.
me.
Not a baby,
I'm
little
very
Musk.
musky. Yeah, very musky.
Little musky.
Why are you always trying to stir stuff up, Jason?
And I didn't do it in poll form. We can certainly do that now. But
yeah, poll it because I'm interested. I don't know the ratio. I have not looked at your tweet, so I have no idea.
Thank you for your service.
Packer fans, again, I'm not going to tell you how to think. I enjoy listening to how you feel.
Yeah.
I will recommend how I feel and what my thoughts are, and I applaud him. I don't know what are you booing him about? Now, if he's a New York Jets quarterback, yeah. The Jets come into town, boo him. He's a owner of the Bucs. He's given you 17 years of his life, giving you a lot of great memories. This scenario that's played out is it partially Aaron Rodgers' fault? It is a big chunk.
Sure. That
he's not going to be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. But the organization also wants to move forward. So this isn't the case where Rodgers a couple years ago is saying, I ain't coming. This is the Packers also saying, we don't want you. So is it a 50-50 split? I put more on Aaron than I do the Packers. I think Aaron kind of backed them into a corner.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you booing about? You want Jordan Love. Everybody wants to move forward. They're going to move forward. So now I look at it more from a thank you for your service, get some picks, and let's move on with our lives. Thank you for coming to Milwaukee. You're still supporting the state. You're still supporting our favorite basketball team. I don't get why you would boo him in Milwaukee at a Bucs game. I have a hard time getting my head wrapped around that.
So I was encouraged by the number of people who said they would cheer for him and appreciate what he did. Because after I got done with Homer and Tony, I was like, wow, is this how most people feel? Now, look, I am not looking to be sanctimonious. I'm not here to tell you how to feel as a fan. Tausch just said it best. I'm legitimately curious how you feel. Like, I want to understand it. I personally don't think he has done anything egregious enough to merit being booed at a Bucs game. I don't. And quite frankly, if he came back as the quarterback of the Jets, I still don't think he's done anything that's deserving of being booed. You can politely clap for him or whatever else, but like when other players come in to Green Bay as former players with other teams, I mean, they put Jeff Saturday up on the scoreboard and appreciated him. They put Mike McCarthy on the scoreboard when he came in as the Cowboys coach and people cheered. So we're booing Rodgers.
What did Jeff Saturday get? Did Jeff Saturday got a scoreboard acknowledgement?
Maybe I'm misremembering that.
Didn't he retire as a Packer?
He might have retired before he played in that Pro Bowl, if I remember now correctly. But there was definitely a player who I wouldn't have expected to get that who got it. That was my point. I don't think it was Jeff Saturday. But
okay, first off, you're not cheering him if he comes back as the quarterback for the Jets. No. That's crazy.
If they show him on the scoreboard, thank you for your service?
No.
I mean,
There's
if he
time
comes
for
back
that
as the
when he
quarterback of the
retires.
49ers or the Bears or the Vikings or the Lions, I'm okay, I can understand
See,
that.
Jason, here's the difference. You are looking at this in the wrong spectrum, in my opinion.
Tell me how I'm wrong. Yeah.
He is there to support the team you're supporting. When he's a New York Jet, you are against him.
What if he's a New York Jet when he comes back to the Bucs playoff games?
No, he's not. He is a Milwaukee Bucks owner when he comes back to the Bucks games. There's your difference. That's how you tell the difference, and that's why you cheer. He comes back as a New York Jet? No. Packers rule. Jets drool.
Nice.
In this case, you let this thing rip. And again, we all understand that emotions are running hot, and we all kind of get where Aaron Rodgers is at. But this is a whole different entity. So I hope he comes back. I would think there'd be a smattering of boos, but for the most part, I think he would get very nice applause for his ownership of the Bucs, and because he is giving you 17, 18 years of his prime life to win games for your favorite team.
So if he wasn't a part owner of the Bucs and he was just coming because he's a big Bucs fan and he's not yet traded to the Jets, eliminate the Bucs ownership. Is it then okay to boo him?
Listen, it's okay to boo him now. I don't understand it. Somebody'd have to explain to me what you're booing him about. What are you booing him about? 80 to 90% of Packer fans are done with Rodgers. Moving on. Okay, great. Yeah, let him move on. Boo him when he's trying to beat your football team, but he's rooting for the same team you are. I can't get my head wrapped around that, and maybe I'm being obtuse. I don't think I'm being obtuse, but maybe I'm being obtuse.
Jesse, what are you doing?
I'm booing him. I don't think there's much question to it. Like, if the guy says...
What are you booing him about? Why are you booing him at a Bucs game?
Because he is saying he does not want to play for the biggest team
the
in
Packers
the state.
said they don't want him either. Okay?
Yes. But he has also
So,
said
hey.
publicly, I don't want to play there anymore. I want to play. My intention is to play for the Jets.
I don't think he actually said the words, I don't want to play there anymore.
My intention is to play and to play for the Jets.
They've moved on, and now so have I.
The fact that we have asked
First off, if Jesse is sitting next... Okay, first off, if you're sitting next to Aaron Rodgers, you ain't booing him. Okay? You're sitting across and can make eye contact, you ain't booing him. Jesse Nelson's not.
I mean, probably not.
He's not.
It's hard to boo someone when you're sitting right next to him. Yeah, like you gotta.
I disagree. It makes it better.
You
boo him.
and then you sit down and like, hey, you want some popcorn?
So you're booing him because the Packers want to move forward and he wants to play somewhere else. At a Bucs game.
I'm booing him because for the third straight year, we're asking the question if Aaron Rodgers is on the Jumbotron at a Bucs game.
You didn't boo Brett Favre. You wouldn't have booed Brett Favre in 08.
In your Vikings jersey in 09.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Because the Packers went to the NFC
What, a
Championship
cat got your
game.
tongue?
No, because we're going to do this again. The Packers were in the NFC Championship game in 2007.
No, you like Brett, you don't like
and they
Aaron.
openly chose to move on and make the team worse
No, they
the
didn't.
following year.
They didn't. They didn't openly move. They asked him to come back, and he couldn't. He said no, and then they moved on. So I get it. I get it. Here's the deal. Everybody back then loved Brett. Brett was aw shucks and all this other stuff. And I understand it, but don't just call it out for what it is. You don't like Aaron Rodgers as a dude.
Yeah.
You have to look back and say that he's one of the greatest players to ever put on a jersey for this franchise. He has given you everything. He's played with a yanked calf. He's played with a busted thumb. Yes, he hasn't brought you as many championships as you wanted. And yes, I still want him to play. The Packers don't want him to be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers anymore. Okay? Now, how it would have gotten there, yes, it would have been a messy deal. I'm not arguing that. And when he comes back as a Green Bay Packer or as a Jet into Green Bay, boo him. Boo him. But when he comes to support the same team you're supporting that he put his own hard money into becoming a part of, and you're going to boo him, I don't know. I don't understand why.
Let's find out, because you only get 280 characters on Elon Musk's Twitter, but you get plenty more characters if you call or text. 844-770-3776. I do want people to explain and be honest about it. I really do. Like, if
Did
you don't
Jesse give you a good argument there?
No.
As far as why he's booing him?
I think we both know he didn't. Sounds like
that's what I took from that.
Low-toned Charlie Brown's teacher there. 844-770-3776. If you're booing him, I want to hear from you. I'm not going to tell you can't. I'm not going to tell you shouldn't. No. I don't understand it. I want to understand it better. If you are cheering him, regardless of his Bucs ownership, the part of this that I just want to understand is why. It's like that old scene in A Few Good Men. Why do you hate them so much? There are a lot of people that just hate his guts, whether it's the COVID stuff or the, as he calls it, hippie weirdo stuff, whatever it is, losing in the playoffs. I mean, someone actually tweeted he has done nothing for this organization. Like, to write that sentence.
Whoever tweeted that that's crazy town.
844-770-3776. Tausch is going to tell us about Loch LaBelle here, but again, I want to get your calls. 844-770-3776. One of the rights of spring is not just the NFL draft talk on Wilde and Tausch. It's Tausch talking about Loch LaBelle.
Oh, and I got out and played a little golf last Thursday. It's a little chilly, but pretty soon you're going to be able to experience an American treasure. Not in Manitowoc, but in Oconomowoc this golf season at the club at Loch LaBelle. The club at Loch LaBelle is the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin, with a rich history that you will feel once you arrive. The club at Loch LaBelle is open to the public. Schedule your tee time today at club@lochlabelle.com. That's club@lochlabelle.com. This is a golf destination that you will want to play over and over again. Again, I love the fact Madison, Milwaukee, it's right in between. You get there, you feel like you're miles away from everything, and then it's a short trip home. It's a golf destination you're going to want to play over and over again. A historic past that meets a vibrant future. Go to club@lochlabelle.com to start your journey today.
844-770-3776. Your calls and your texts next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
A wide array of opportunities abound at Waste Management.
I've been with Waste Management for 11 years now. I started out in our call center, transitioned over to our dispatch department, and I am a supervisor in my current role. I've worked for companies where a lot of the promotions are based on seniority. It's never been that. It's about proving yourself, getting in there, showing that you're comfortable, you're confident, you're ready for the challenge. There's been a lot of room for growth.
Join the Waste Management family. Just search online, Waste Management Careers.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
It's Jeff Levering for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Look at that effortless horizontal window slide, letting in lots of light. And that roll, it's a double play. Like magic, the screen disappears when the window is closed. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door, featuring the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Order by April 30th and get 0% for 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
This Bucks team is something special. There's unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime freakish talent like you've never seen before. The blocks, the dunks, the next-level energy, and a hungry core that's running the court, dropping shots, and posting stat after stat after stat. All this action will have you on your feet cheering Fear the Deer. The playoffs presented by BMO are here. Get your single-game tickets now at bucks.com/playoffs.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Yeah, I caught my first fish, Dad!
Great job, buddy. He's a beauty.
Thanks for taking me fishing. Love you, Dad.
I love you too, son.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive and you could use the savings to make sure the boat's always ready for those magical father-son moments. Who knows, maybe someday he'll actually like fishing. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
It's time. Time to empty your closets, junk drawers, and garage of all your old, unused tech. It's time to bag those batteries that bit the dust. Time to tell that old calculator its days are numbered. Time to tell your old hard drive a hard truth. It's time to go. It's time to recycle it all at Staples for free. Plus, this weekend, you save 15% on your purchase of $30 at Staples when you recycle that tech junk for Earth Day. Offer valid 4/22 and 4/23. Limit 1 reward per month. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details.
The NBA playoffs are finally here.
Drives in on Giannis, puts the shot up, rejected by Giannis on the second jump.
And the quest for a championship starts on Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia.
He's been their best three-point shooter so far. He's just found his niche.
Every series right here. And it starts in round 1 when the Bucks try to take down the Miami Heat.
Punishing dunk from the Greek Freak. Take that.
You can listen live throughout the playoffs right here on 94.5 ESPN.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Before we get to your calls, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Are you booing Aaron Rodgers if he shows up at Fiserv Forum? If not, why not? If so, why? Now, I don't know if there's anyone in my regular sphere of people I interact with that dislikes Aaron Rodgers as much as Big Cat. Josh DiMaggio, producer for Scalzo and Brust, which you hear each weekday, 4 to 6 on these here airwaves. He publicly acknowledges he don't like that Aaron Rodgers fella.
He no likey, 12-y. No.
So on the private talk and text line, Josh writes this, and it also allows me to read on the radio, which you know I love. I mean, I just don't like him. And I want him to feel unwelcome. And I'm trying to spite the spiteful. Aaron has toyed with fans' emotions intentionally. Now I'm doing it back. Oh, but wait, there's more. Aside from that, I just think being a fan is emotional and at times irrational. People want to voice their displeasure with the past few years and his departure. Given the situation, the only way to do that is by booing him. You can both understand what Aaron's done and not like him, and how the end of his career with the Packers has played out and how he was a factor in how it's ending. It seems awfully early to be in the grateful portion of the divorce. That's a pretty darn good rationalization from a guy who hates Aaron Rodgers, I think.
Yeah, but he's Aaron Rodgers, the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, cheering for your Milwaukee Bucks that you are also cheering for. Why would you bring all that negative energy to a building that, by all accounts, was not very good Sunday night? So, yeah, you can be mad and not like Aaron Rodgers. I get it. I understand where fans are at on that. I don't agree with them, but I understand it. But you're the classic cutting off your nose to spite your face bit. Aaron Rodgers, when he is at the Milwaukee Bucks game, he's the Milwaukee Bucks owner. He's not the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. He's not even on the team. He's still on the Green Bay Packers, people. So, yeah, I get that people are irritated by him. Again, for anybody that doesn't think that he has done an immense amount of great things for this franchise, you're just being really irrational and emotional, which fans are. I get, but time is going to heal that, and you're going to look back and you're going to genuinely say, thank you for your service when Aaron Rodgers' career is over.
I did ask Homer, Tony, and Gabe this question when this conversation started yesterday. Given the allegations against him, if Brett Favre showed up at Fiserv for him, would you boo him?
Yes.
Like, I just, again, I'm trying to gauge where
you'd be
people...
more. I'll say this: you'd be more likely to boo Brett Favre than Aaron Rodgers.
You would think.
Jesse wouldn't.
No,
I would think
everyone's booing Favre now.
No,
Since this stuff's been going on,
I don't think so either. I don't think it's...
he is not. Listen, if you want to get specific, he has not been charged.
Correct.
He is countersuing other people. So
I
you
said
can
allegedly.
think and say what you want. So let's allegedly put that. And if you think that a room full of Wisconsin sports fans is going to boo Brett Favre big time, do I think he'd get booed? Yes. I think he'd be booed more than Aaron Rodgers. I think so.
Let's get going with some calls. And then we'll get to, apparently Jesse's being inundated with texts, much like I was on Twitter yesterday. Like every time I went to the notifications section, it said 20 plus. Lots of responses there, lots of them on Facebook. But let's get to your calls. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Let's begin with Brian in Greenfield. Brian, good morning. Welcome to Wilde Tausch. How are you today?
Welcome. Thank you for taking my call.
No, welcome to us for us being invited into your home. Thank you.
I'm sorry I got tongue-tied because of what Tausch just said. I never booed Brett Favre in my life. I even own a Jet jersey and a Viking jersey. I still cheer for the Packers, but I hope he had a good game against us because you can relate to Brett Favre because he felt like he was one of the guys. You go have a drink with him at the bar. I mean, I wouldn't be in the class to have a drink of Aaron Rodgers because he had to have his scotch, and he's probably at an expensive bar that I couldn't afford to buy one drink in Vegas or someplace. But what really ticked me off, it's funny, but anyway, what really ticks me off, how long has Brett Favre played? I never seen him curse out or get mad at a receiver on the field. He'd slap him on a butt and say, let's get him next play. He'd always point the finger to the wrong route, slam his helmet, throw his disgust. And last year he discussed me for the last time because he complained about the receivers and the inexperience. But why didn't he come in the offseason like Brady did or now Love did or the guy Mahomes? Just met with his receivers last year, having to change your receivers. He had to go on his little vacations and everything else. So that's why people can't relate to Rodgers like they did Brett Favre. I mean, I'm 64 years old, and I will cheer for Brett Favre no matter if he's involved in this thing, whatever. On the field, what he did for me, that's what it counts as a Packer fan. You can relate to him, and I stand behind him. Rodgers, on the other hand, what?
Yeah, Brian, quick question, though. So you don't relate to Rodgers. But you just said it's all about what happens on the field. What happened on the field?
Right.
A lot of great things happened with Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback. Gave you as a fan
I
a
don't
lot
doubt
of
that.
enjoyment.
I was behind Rodgers. Yeah. I was behind Rodgers the whole time when they said about getting rid of him a year or two ago. And I feel like you said earlier that if we're going to have a real chance the playoffs are going to run a deep run. I love Rodgers back there, but his attitude the last 3 years, I don't know if this is kind of Gutekunst or what, but he's just gone off the deep end. And now he really got me upset in mid-season last year when before he took off with these receivers.
Yeah.
He was complaining about them. And why didn't you spend the extra time like these other guys do? For a good team, after you signed a $50 million contract, you can't give up your vacation 1 year. Oh, Jesus. I think that's why most of the fans are at their last straw with him.
Yeah, and Brian, thanks for the call. And you're right. A lot of this is self-inflicted. We have said that on this show many, many times. And relatability is one thing, right? And frankly, I would say this. I would say Brett Favre played that role far better than Aaron Rodgers did. I don't know
question.
If his relatability was always quite as good as he made it seem it was. But Rodgers made very little effort to do that. I would argue that there was a 4-year period where he maybe was his most relatable.
Oh, God.
2011 through 2014.
Tell me. Can you please tell me about that great radio show that you did with Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know.
A decade ago.
That was just a window that I was referring
decade ago.
To. Just a Pella window into his soul. But
one touch.
I would say this. The last couple of years, whatever connection he created with many fans, he definitely damaged it a lot. And last year, more than any year. Like, you don't hear people giving him a whole lot of benefit of the doubt, other than Greg Scalzo when I was listening to him yesterday on my drive to Milwaukee with Ben Brust on Scalzo and Brust. You don't hear a lot of people giving him the benefit of the doubt for his performance last year, that the thumb was a major factor, or not having Devontae, or not having experienced receivers who knew what they were doing. You don't hear a lot of benefit of the doubt for Rodgers for what happened last year. And a lot of that, again, self-inflicted. Saying things. I asked him flat out at his locker after he criticized the mental mistakes on McAfee, is that good leadership? He claimed it was. Then he had that line about, well, if anybody's got a problem, I'm right here, then come to my locker. Come on. So a lot of it is self-inflicted. Brian's right about all that.
Still don't think, listen, Brian brought up a ton of good points.
He did.
I think fans bring up a lot of good points about especially the last 3 or 4 years of Aaron Rodgers' career, post-Jordan Love draft. And I still say his good and what he's done is pretty gosh darn good. And as a Bucs, coming to a Bucs game, it is different than coming back as the quarterback trying to beat your favorite team. It just is.
Yeah.
And big picture-wise, I understand the emotion and the angst of, I don't like this guy, I'm done with him. But there's also the, man, he's done a lot of great things, and he's back here rooting for the team I'm rooting for. That's a sacrifice that he's making coming out. I don't want him to feel alienated and ostracized into not supporting a team that I'm supporting.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense to me either.
We'll get to some of your texts coming up next, and maybe some calls as well after Tausch tells you about Prize Picks, which I don't know if you did anything for last night's Sacramento Golden State game, but I enjoyed watching that when I got home from Milwaukee.
Daily fantasy sports made easy, and my favorite time of the year with Prize Picks is the NBA playoffs, especially with the Milwaukee Bucks. Told you about Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday for Old T. I don't know how I could have possibly done worse. Tyler Hero, I said no big deal. I'm going to go more on Giannis because Giannis is a beast. He's going to get more than 15 in the first half. No. Tyler Hero, we're going to shut him down less. No. But you know what? I still had a great time. I picked 2 to 6 players. I went with 2. I wanted to just get back into it and start easy. It's not competing against other people. I had 100 other projections I could have went with. I went with those. My entry was made in 60 seconds or less. I didn't have to worry about withdrawing because I lost, but I'm going to get back on the horse tomorrow night. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up. And right now, you can put 100 in, and Prize Picks gives you 100 back if you use the promo code WI. Again, don't forget to enter that promo code WI, and you get that instant match up to $100. And tomorrow will be beautiful. We'll figure it out. Middleton, and I have an array, a buffet of options to choose on Prize Picks.
Your calls and texts. Would you boo Aaron Rodgers? Continue next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
At least twice as big
as the one you gave her when you got engaged.
That's the definition of a big anniversary diamond.
Kessler's has lots of ways for you to go twice as big.
We have twice as big diamonds from diamond mines.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of Mother Earth. And the ones that exist in the world today are all there will ever be.
Kessler's also has twice as big created diamonds.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of a ball of lightning, a miniature star, inside a plasma chamber. It's a wonder to behold.
Kessler's also has twice as big flickering firelight diamonds.
These natural diamonds flicker with all the warm colors of firelight instead of the cold colors of ice. Flickering firelight diamonds are another wonder to behold.
And all of these twice as big diamonds are for her.
The best wonder to behold of all. Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, go to Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
I'm with the Associate Director of Hunger Task Force, Matt King. Matt, tell me about your organization's mission.
We operate a food bank that provides healthy food absolutely free of charge to people across Wisconsin.
And as your local office technology partner, James Imaging Systems is there to assist you and your organization.
Absolutely, it's really important to work with other local businesses that give back to the community.
I imagine operating a statewide food bank requires the help of a lot of special people.
We actually rely on the help of over 15,000 community volunteers every year.
That's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work.
People can get involved in whatever way feels most comfortable to them. They can give their time, they can give their funds, and they can give their voice.
And for those interested in helping, what's the first step?
People can go to our website at www.hungertaskforce.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Every day, Mark fights retinitis pigmentosa, a blinding retinal disease. But even while his vision is taken, his family gives him hope. Because whether he's helping run their business or enjoying time at home with his wife and sons, Mark knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding diseases, providing real hope to those fighting vision loss. And our nationwide community of local chapters provides networking and support for people with vision loss, as well as their loved ones. Because the best way to fight against blinding diseases is to fight together. And for Mark, winning the fight against vision loss means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Learn more about how you can help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Follow me every
Before we get to more of your calls, Jesse, do you have a poll question that you've drafted?
I do. If Milwaukee Bucks minor... Now, Tausch was trying to slant the vote, so I do want to make you
I
aware of
was
that.
not.
You were, too.
Shadow banning
Everyone's
and all that
gonna
other
vote
stuff.
Boo, so we got to make sure we say, if all-around good guy and Milwaukee Bucks minority
humanitarian.
owner, Aaron Rodgers.
Is that how I sound?
Four-time
Is that
MVP,
what I sound like?
Super Bowl champion.
All right, what's the poll?
If Milwaukee Bucks minority owner Aaron Rodgers showed up at Fiserv Forum attending a Bucks playoff game in the next few weeks and was shown on the Jumbotron, would you cheer him or boo him? And your options are cheer or boo. There is no hedging.
I like it.
No, I think in the interest of fairness,
no.
Milwaukee Bucks minority owner and soon-to-be ex-Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
You don't know that.
Technically, we don't know that.
The only thing we know for sure is he is the co-owner.
Green Bay Packers quarterback.
That's what
No,
Tausch
He's on the roster.
Current
No, I don't.
Super Bowl
He's
champion,
on the roster.
four-time MVP,
No.
Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yes. Four-time NFL MVP quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
Jesse,
There
the way
go.
you worded it is the way Jesse worded it is very fair, and I will be fascinated to see what these results.
He's not known for being the partial owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. It's not the number one
When
thing
he's had
on
a
his
Bucks
resume.
game, he is.
People aren't booing his partial ownership. They're booing his weirdo hippiness or his playoff failures or his yelling at wide receivers or whatever else. All right. Somewhere in there, four-time NFL MVP quarterback sounds great. All right. Let's get to your calls. Again, 844-770-3776. Let's start with Mark in Janesville. Mark, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, guys. Freaking love listening to you. But so I think we as Wisconsinites can stand up better than what the society norm is. I don't think we need to boo him. I think we can applaud his accolades, what he's done in contributing to our team. We as fans can stand above him and above the other media expecting us to boo him. Because the stories that they will tell, but the fact that we booed this guy and look at what he did for them, I don't think it would stand well. I myself, I can't judge people for who they are. I appreciate what he's done. I don't care for how he does things, but still, going forward, I'm appreciative of what he's done. I don't care for him as a character, but I can move forward. I'll applaud his accolades, what he's done for us, but I won't boo him.
Taking the high road, right? That's what you're doing. You're taking the high road.
Well, taking what road should be. I mean, if we're going to do anything going forward in this society, we got to start spreading some positive. We appreciate what you've done.
Wow.
Move on. We still need to
Love
look
Mark.
better as fans too.
Forget Rasul Douglas. I think we should have Mark on once a week.
MJ, Mark in Janesville. I agree. Love it.
Look, he's right on a bunch of levels there, and again, it goes to appreciate the art, even if you don't like the artist. And again, his accomplishments. I mean, they did win a Super Bowl. He did play really well in a heck of a lot of football games, even if you don't like some of the things that have transpired in recent years. All right, we've got more of your calls lined up, so if you're on hold, stay there. If you're not and you want to get in on the conversation, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Tausch, tell us quickly about your favorite beer while Jesse gets more calls lined up for the 10 o'clock hour.
Coors Light, I think that everybody down at Fiserv, when you get Aaron in there, just grab yourself a Coors Light and chill. Brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it is made to chill. The mountains, oh baby, the mountains on Coors Light's cold activated bottles and cans. They turn blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Calls and texts to kick off the 10 o'clock hour in 2 minutes. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Chevy truck season is the perfect time to step up with strength and style in a new Silverado. Whether it's your first Silverado or your next one, with the choice of 9 trims and 4 powertrains, you'll find a mix of power, trailering, and off-road capability that's right for you. Don't miss Chevy truck season with exciting offers available right now, and kickstart your next adventure in the legendary Silverado. See your local Chevy dealer and visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
Is that like a button, like a preset that just happens when you hit a certain age and all of a sudden you start making unnecessary noises?
You can never be too sure.
Yeah, I make them all the time. Well, like my wife, I have big lungs.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Takes time to get them filled with air.
How do you know your wife has big lungs?
Take a look.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Graduation season is just around the corner, and what better way to celebrate than with custom banners and yard signs from Fast Signs of Glendale. Their team of experts can create personalized banners and yard signs that will make your graduate feel extra special on their big day. With their exceptional service and attention to detail, you can trust that your order will be perfect every time. Let Fast Signs of Glendale help you make your graduate's day even more memorable with a custom banner or yard sign. Fast Signs of Glendale. Mention summer 2023 for special graduation pricing.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I've been grinding so long, been trying it for years. And I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up prayers and something's changed. I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch. Tardy, but begins now. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Are you booing Milwaukee Bucks minority owner? Talk about trying to impact the balloting. It's fine. It's fine.
It's true. It's not inaccurate.
It is not factually inaccurate. No, you're right. You are definitely right about that. 844-770-3776. Let's get some more of your calls before we check in on the poll. Let's go to Doug in Appleton. Doug, good morning. Welcome to Wilde Tausch. You booing, buddy?
I am not. There are several reasons why I wouldn't. We do need to recognize the greatness that is Aaron Rodgers. I compare, people complain how much he is passive-aggressive on the sideline and yelling at his players. Do you ever watch Tom Brady scream at his offensive line? It's considerably worse. And I'm telling you, you watch Brady throughout his career, and granted, I understand why he is the GOAT, but he has had quarters and halves of games that are simply bad. The only game that I've seen Rodgers play as bad as some of Brady's quarters and halves was the Lion game earlier this year. With that being said, Brady does have a unbelievable ability to play great when his team needs to be great. So I just don't understand why Brady gets the pass. Now, again, the championships, but but why a competitor such as Rodgers does it. Again, another great quarterback in history. Look at Dan Marino. He screamed at his teammates as well. So I think that's a little bit unfair to do that. Do I like Aaron Rodgers? Not particularly, but I mean, when he walks off the field, every game of Lambeau Field, he's giving the fans the sign language for "I love you." I would not boo him, even when he becomes a Jet. As a Bucks owner, I wouldn't boo him on when he's courtside. I would boo him on the football field like I did when Favre came back in a Viking uniform, but I would not boo him on the Bucks sideline.
Yeah, great call, Doug. Thank you. And I think Doug, the most important part that Doug said there, amid all the other things he said about Rodgers and comparing him, he said he doesn't really like Rodgers.
Yeah,
like that's honest.
Yeah,
you can dislike him and still respect what he did.
100%. That's my point, and that's where Jesse we're giving Jesse some grief about hypocrisy, and it all comes back to he loved Brett Favre, and I think Aaron stayed a year longer, and I think Packer fans would have loved had the Green Bay Packers traded Aaron last year and gotten that haul. People would have loved Aaron even more. Now I saw our boy, the Packer Ranter, tweeting at us and saying, I'm mad because he's trying to hijack a number one pick by not letting things kind of go the way they were. Fair. You can't blame him, Packer Ranter, because he's trying to do what's right for his next team. Mm-hmm. I don't blame him at all, but I don't blame Packer fans for being pissed about that.
Jesse, what do you got in terms of texts?
Lori in Sun Prairie. Good city.
Lovely area.
Okay.
I wouldn't boo Rodgers until he wears a Vikings or Bears jersey. He's given me many years of joy watching the Packers win. It's the Packers who are done with him, warranted or not.
So, do you buy that, Jason? Do you buy that? Because this is one of your stickler points.
I'm a stickler, yeah.
The Devontae Adams, the Packers kind of PR-wise are saying, well, it's not us, it's him. They're doing the same thing with Aaron.
They really are. We're trying to accommodate him.
And I don't think, again, I still believe that Aaron would be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers had he shown a little bit of, I need to do this better. I need to do this. I need to be more bought in. He didn't do that. He didn't answer calls when he was in the cave. I almost wonder if they knew he was going to be in the cave and that gave him the out. It'll be fascinating when this 30 for 30 gets written. Something, I don't know what the title's going to be, but if he leads the Jets to a championship, it'll be something of the Lazarus or coming from the dead, coming from the cave to a – something is going to be nicknamed that, and it'll be a fascinating doc to watch.
From darkness to light.
He had a camera in that cave. I almost guarantee he had some type of documentation of what was going on.
What would be wrong with just saying, look, we think it's time for Jordan. We appreciate everything he did, but we're ready to move on. Like, they haven't actually said that, right? Like, the line of narrative was we couldn't get a hold of him to have the conversations we needed to have. Like, I was going back through that transcript from the NFL meetings, and Goody talks about not being able to get a hold of him like 6 or 7 times. Like, they just don't want to say it was time. Like, at least with Mike McCarthy getting fired, Mark Murphy did say that it had run its course. I think Mike's time here had run its course. It's not harsh like, we don't think he can coach anymore, or whatever it might have, they might have wanted to say. It's run its course. What would be wrong with saying that from the Packers' perspective about Rodgers' time? Instead
because
of
that
we're
leaves
trying
you,
we're trying to accommodate his wishes.
Yeah, it leaves you more vulnerable to Rodgers sticking it up your tail and making you look dumb. That's why.
But and Are they successfully duping people? And again, I get a
No,
lot of grief about this.
they're not.
No, there's a lot of people that really believe Devontae didn't want to be here, which is true, sort of, at the end after he was really pissed. And again, I say that with a measure of knowledge of the situation. That's not just, I really like Devontae, I wish he was still here. So,
but that's true, too.
Both
things
worked.
can be true.
Both things can be true. But my point is that their spin worked on at least a portion of the Packers fan base. Right? Devontae didn't want to be here. So we traded him to the Raiders, which is where he wanted to be. Yeah, but before the 21 season, had you paid him, he definitely wanted to be here. So it's not entirely true. And the same with Rodgers. But in Rodgers' case, I think he did enough stuff to piss them off that they could say honestly it had run its course and we're ready for something different. And most people would still support them.
For sure. But
Jesse,
they didn't have to. They didn't have to because Aaron gave him that out.
Yeah, at least it just hasn't happened yet, though. Jesse, you got another text or two you want to get to?
Ryan in...
What was that? That feels like a throwaway comment, but I'd like to do a little investigative journalism. You think this ain't going to happen?
I don't know. When you were the one who said when I said soon-to-be ex-Packers quarterback. You can't say that. I'm just saying it hasn't happened yet. I do wonder.
That's what you're saying. But what are you really saying?
Much like immunized, let's make sure we're always thinking about his choices of words. He has never actually stated, I want to play for the New York Jets. Right? My intention is to play for the Jets. If you want to be a stickler, your intention and what you want to do are not necessarily the same thing. I'm not trying to stir something up out of nowhere. I'm just saying I tried to get him to admit that immunized meant something different than vaccinated when I asked him when I asked a question that had vaccinated in it like 4 times. And he didn't correct.
But you didn't follow up.
You're right.
But you didn't follow up.
You're right.
You should follow up and say, what does intends mean?
What does the word is mean?
What is that saying? My best intentions are blah, blah, blah. There's like an old proverb about intentions. Jesse, go to some texts. I'll go research this myself.
My intention is for Jesse to read some texts.
Ryan in Muskego, also a great place to be. I don't like the owner excuse. I'd boo Jimmy Haslam, even though he's an owner of the Bucs.
The best intentions pave the way to hell. By the way, I believe is the quote you're seeking.
I don't know if that's the one I'm thinking
Is that what
of,
you were
but
looking for? The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Maybe it is what I was thinking about. I don't know. Maybe that's what Aaron Rodgers was thinking about, because that could be a complete and utter disaster in New York. It has got I'll say this, for as big of a belief as I have in 12, and the fact that he's healthy and he's going to be pissed and he's going to be motivated and all that, there is a better chance. I'll say this, it's a 50-50 chance. It's either going to be a complete and utter disaster or big-time success. I don't think there's going to be a ton of mediocrity there. I think it's going to be boom or bust.
Wow. Well, I hope it happens so we can all watch it unfold together. We're going to play some Twitter Trash or Twitter Treasure coming up. We'll get to more of your text messages and a bunch of your tweets. Before that, though, Tausch is going to tell us about LabCorp, because LabCorp is here for us with all kinds of great studies that they're working on.
Yeah, and everybody right now is looking for more cash. Everybody's trying to find a way, whether it's buying eggs, putting gas in your car, looking to get a down payment on a new home, vacations, home renovations. And if you are looking for it, LabCorp has a variety of open trials that will fit your schedule. And right now they have studies for healthy adults, ages 18 to 60, with a BMI of 18 to 32. That study involves 1 stay of 8 nights and 7 follow-ups. and you can be comped up to $10,328. Jesse, what would you do with $10,328?
Ooh.
It's a lot of Brett Favre jerseys.
Playoff tickets.
Yeah, great
Bucks
stuff.
Playoff tickets, baseball tickets. Yeah, we go to the games.
Well, I got good news for you, Jesse. For us bigger fellas, they also have a trial where they're looking for healthy, overweight males and females age 18 to 55. Those females must be of non-childbearing potential with a BMI of 30 to 39.9. That study involves one stay of 6 nights and 2 follow-ups. Be compensated up to $3,700. That'll get you some Bucks playoff tickets, provided for your time and participation, and you receive up to $500 per qualified participant. Go to LabCorp, clinicaltrials.com. That's LabCorp, clinicaltrials.com.
More of your texts and some Twitter trash or Twitter treasure all still ahead. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde. Show your excitement for the Brew Crew's return with Brewers Checking from Associated Bank. You'll get a one-of-a-kind Brewers Debit MasterCard, 10% off at the team store, and VIP treatment with Express Check-In through the Associated Bank gate. And for the ultimate all-inclusive game day experience for your crew, check out the Associated Bank Power Alley Group Space. Featuring a full buffet and private bar, the Power Alley overlooks left center field. And who knows, the next Brewers home run could be headed your way. Learn more today at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
It's Jeff Levering for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Look at that effortless horizontal window slide, letting in lots of light. And that roll, it's a double play. Like magic, the screen disappears when the window is closed. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door, featuring the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Order by April 30th and get 0% for 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
Kessler's is America's largest employee-owned diamond store.
It's the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
As shoppers, we want better prices and more choices.
That's why we give you better prices and more choices.
We don't try to choose for you. We let you choose.
You can choose a diamond from a diamond mine.
A diamond as old as the earth itself.
You can choose a created diamond from a plasma chamber.
A diamond as new and fresh and sparkling as springtime.
And now you can choose a flickering firelight diamond.
Flickering firelight diamonds sparkle with a rich and regal golden glow.
At Kessler's, you choose from 3 different kinds of diamonds.
3 different kinds of diamonds.
Earth diamonds from diamond mines.
Created diamonds from plasma chambers.
And flickering firelight diamonds with a rich, regal golden glow.
We like to have choices, so we give you choices.
Kessler's is the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Looking for your next night out? Q Club of Wisconsin is the hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what you got going on over there, buddy?
Hey, Gary, there's so much going on here. We've got all your favorite teams on our TVs, more pool tables than you know what to do with, and live local bands playing on Saturdays. Plus, we got bocce leagues all summer long that we're signing teams up for right now. And, of course, our fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays.
And stop by for brunch on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. Check out QClubofWisconsin.com.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. We hear stories every day in our clinics that what used to work for guys doesn't anymore. Increase cardio, cut out certain food, nothing stops the changes in their bodies, especially the weight. The fact is years of decreasing testosterone has packed on the belly fat that won't go away. We've introduced a medication, semaglutide, that helps drop 15% of the body weight on average while preserving testosterone. Join the over 20,000 Mentality clients and jumpstart your results. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
I lived alone and was having problems with my landlord. He's a creep. One night I'm watching TV and I hear my landlord letting himself in. Hey, get out. You can't keep coming in.
I'm just here to fix your fridge and spend some time together.
Get out. I'm reporting you.
Don't make a federal case of it.
A federal case? Sexual harassment in housing is against federal law. If you are harassed, file a complaint with HUD. Go to HUD.gov/fair housing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
We'll get back to some of your booing discussion, as well as the preemptive poll we put in the field as we were leaving the Tundra Trio yesterday in the shadow of Lambeau Field. But it's time now to play a little Twitter Trash or Twitter Treasure presented by WM.
You only find two things on Twitter: trash
Yes, I love trash.
and treasure. Brought to you by WM, the leading provider of comprehensive waste management services in North America. Learn about career opportunities in Wisconsin by visiting careers.wm.com.
I think our leadoff hitter here has a chance in his Twitter Trash or Twitter Treasure debut to be an instant Twitter Trash or Twitter Treasure Hall of Fame tweet.
Wow.
Hall of Fame's a lot of praise.
Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay tweeted Sunday afternoon. You may have seen this by now. For the 2023 draft, we have many options. With the number 4 pick, we could stay put and take a quarterback, or trade up and take a quarterback, or trade down and maybe take a quarterback, or not. Smiley face. All options on the table, but we like our position and are very excited. Fire up, football emoji, followed by pictures of Anthony Richardson of Florida, the quarterback, C.J. Stroud of Ohio State, Bryce Young, and Will Levis.
Wow.
Twitter Trash or Twitter Treasure from Jim Irsay.
Makes you wish the Packers had an owner.
Tausch.
Why does that make you wish the Packers had an owner?
Because they're wacky. Owners are wacky and unpredictable.
No, not good owners aren't wacky.
No,
I don't
exactly
see Bob
right.
Kraft doing that.
He was
Jim
doing some other
Irsay
stuff.
Jim Irsay is a great example of someone who started on third base and thought they hit a triple. I don't think. Why is he not getting more criticism? You know how Packer fans, some crush the organization because they only got one championship. How many championships you get with one of the great quarterbacks to ever play the game?
And another really, really good one who might have been a Hall of Fame ready kept playing.
And you had a Hall of Fame running back, Hall of Fame
wide receiver, Hall of Fame center.
I think Jim Irsay is a really average to below average owner. I think he's quirky because he's got all this money that he's got throughout the Indianapolis Colts. I don't think he had businesses elsewhere. I'm not a Jim Irsay guy, and that tweet made me dumber. Like, that tweet made me much dumber. And as a Colts fan, I'm thinking to myself, is this guy okay? Does he know what the hell he's doing? So, yeah, I think the tweet is absolute trash.
I think it's absolute treasure.
Awesome.
Because it reminds you why it's good that the Packers don't have an owner. Yes, good owners don't do stuff like this. But let's be honest, there's a lot of crappy owners that are really rich and really, entitled and really not the kind of folks that you want owning your team. I'll reserve judgment on any recent additions to the Wisconsin sports ownership landscape for now. The bottom line is, if you've got a good owner, great. But if you got a bad owner, you got all kinds of problems. And there's plenty of examples of that. This is not what you want any representative of your organization doing on the cusp of the draft, in my opinion. Good reminder, owners aren't always great.
Next up, for all the grief that you gave me yesterday for my Bucks analysis.
Where's that sound graph, by the way? Can we get a sound graph?
Well, I realized
what happened to that.
I didn't need to tweet out the sound graph because Jim Rutledge of Rutledge and Hamilton, weekdays 2 to 4 on ESPN Madison, tweeted on Sunday evening, "This is simple. With Giannis, hashtag Bucks in 6. Without Giannis, shrugging emoji." Twitter trash or Twitter treasure from Jim Rutledge. Tausch?
This is a tricky one.
This? No, this is trash. It's a trash tweet. What are you... No, blank. I mean, yeah, that's... we all understand that. It's... I guess, do we need to just tweet the most, like, obvious thought processes that go out there now? I mean, again, you tweet whatever you want. I am a free speech apologist. Let's see it. Let's hear what you have to say. And then let me say I think it's trash. Thank you, Elon, for allowing us to do that.
Jeez. I like the little shrugging guy. I like a good shrugging emoji. Yeah. I do. I like that guy.
I mean, he didn't even give a take like they're done without Giannis. He just shrugging emoji. Wait and see.
I would just say this because I heard some folks talking about this on a myriad of our shows yesterday because I listened to several of them. There does seem to be this presumption of, even if they decided not to play Giannis for the rest of the series, to rest him, that they would still win the series. I wouldn't do that. Not a fan of that take. Or this one. Next.
Last up, I think this is also his Twitter trash or Twitter treasure debut, so 2 debuts today. At Vince Vetrano, host of Wisconsin's Morning News on 620 WTMJ.
Happy Grilled Cheese Day.
Where Tausch appears every day. What time is that, Tausch, that you're on? Vinny and the
It's
boys?
usually about 7:52, 3-ish, somewhere in that ballpark.
Vince Vetrano on Sunday tweeting, "Changing of the colors." And then he proceeded to tag the Brewers, Bucks, 620 WTMJ, and ESPN Milwaukee, and use the hashtags NBA Playoffs, Bucks, Brewers, and This Is My Crew. And it's a video with dramatic music of him taking his Milwaukee Brewers flag at his home, waving it, and it changes into a Milwaukee Bucks flag, and then he puts it in the old holster for the start of the Bucks playoff run. Dramatizing the changing of the flag.
So it's like magic.
It looks like magic.
It's like when Pella's roll screens come down.
Yeah,
it's like magic.
It's a lot like, yes.
Yeah, anytime you're going to put effort and energy in and be creative, showing off the fact that you love your Wisconsin sports teams, how am I going to say that that's trash? And you do it with a little bit of flair, and I don't know, get it just a wink of the eye type deal? Yeah, treasure that up.
Quick update on that video on Twitter. 1,532 views, 27 likes, and 2 retweets. Just wanted to give you some stats.
And what does that mean?
That's it for Twitter Trash or Twitter Treasure. We'll get to a couple of our poll questions.
Are you slandering Vinny Vetrano?
No, I didn't. All I said was the numbers. I read the numbers. It's a TikTok video. We're not pro TikTok on this show.
I'm anti-TikTok.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's all.
Well,
that's all. I didn't want to say that.
Video, but it's
now
on
I'm saying
Twitter, so it's not.
But it's a TikTok. It's got a little TikTok logo on it.
The people love TikTok.
We are not pro TikTok on this program. That is it for Twitter Trash or Twitter Treasure presented by WM. I want to get to yesterday's poll and an update on today's poll, and we'll do that next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Will.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Explore Milwaukee's iconic Harley-Davidson Museum this spring. The Harley-Davidson Museum campus boasts one-of-a-kind shopping with exclusive Harley gear from 2 new retail stores, an interactive experience gallery, and the Motor Bar and Restaurant. Riverfront dining with daily specials like fish fries and barbecue. And make it a point to ride over on May 4th for Bike Night, where you can stock up with up to 70% off on deals from their factory shop. The Harley-Davidson Museum, 15 years as one of Milwaukee's top tourist destinations.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
Enjoy a world of street food fare in the largest tequila collection in town at Blue Bat Kitchen and Tequileria. Blue Bat is a destination for some of Milwaukee's best tacos, shareable appetizers, and margaritas in a fun environment right on the river in the historic 3rd Ward, serving up global flavors and good times 7 days a week. Blue Bat Kitchen will also turn your next party into a full-blown fiesta with an off-site catering taco bar. Visit Blue Bat Kitchen on Water Street or check out bluebatkitchen.com.
If you have joint pain and they're telling you surgery is your best option, please stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Tony Smith. The professionals at QC Kinetics use the latest, most advanced regenerative treatments to bring lasting pain relief the natural way. Regenerative medicine harnesses your own body's healing agents to restore and repair damaged tissue in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, and back. The precision treatments are done in the office with no drugs and no downtime. QC Kinetics has hundreds of clinics all over America and thousands of satisfied patients. If your joints are aching from arthritis or injury, look beyond steroids and surgery and discover the amazing possibilities with regenerative medicine. Especially this time of year, you need to be living life to the fullest and doing the stuff you love to do. If you can get relief and avoid going under the knife, doesn't it make sense to check it out? Call QC Kinetics now. It's a free consultation, no obligations. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. 414-285-3474.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
So we posted a poll at the end of the show yesterday, but I'm going to go in reverse chronological order because we were talking earlier about booing Bucks minority owner. I noticed that 4-time NFL MVP did not get in this poll. Bullied by Tausch, hashtag.
Well, it would have helped the cause to cheer him if you said 4-time MVP. How's that a bad thing?
I don't know. I don't know why I wasn't included then.
If you said only one Super Bowl in 18 years.
Single Super Bowl winning quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. It's up to 72.2% of you cheering 27.8% of you booing.
That's
Trust
surprising.
those numbers?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I do, but I'm surprised by him. But I trust him.
Surprised how?
What do you think? I mean, it's a lot more cheering than I thought. I thought it would be more booing than cheering. I would have been way wrong had you asked me to prognosticate what this poll would be. I feel like I was in the minority in the fact that he's at a Bucs game, and people are not pleased about Aaron Rodgers. They're not pleased that they feel like he's holding up this trade. They're not pleased that he's not going to be the quarterback, and they're not pleased that he had the type of season he had last year. So there's a lot of headwinds against him. My point was, yeah, I get it. There's a lot of great things that he's done, and we should appreciate that part of it while he is an owner of a team that we are also rooting for.
So
and it seems like that's winning
is the
out.
booing and the negativity, is that the old restaurant comment card thing where very rarely, although you and I have both tried to do a better job of this, I remember we've talked about this before, do you fill out the comment card when you're really happy with your meal? No. You usually fill it out or you send an email when you're not happy about something. Your order got messed up, right? So does that mean, is it just the people that don't like him or don't appreciate him or are sick of him are louder? And the people that wouldn't be respectful of what he accomplished, they're just the quieter group? Is that it? Maybe.
No, I mean, it's pretty
72.2% is not a small group of people here.
Yeah, this is not like the comment card stuff. You have to go out of your way to go do it. You don't have to go out of your way. You click a button and you hit a button.
You don't have to go out of your way to boo. You don't have to go out of your way to boo.
Yeah, you don't have to go out of your way to cheer.
Or you can just stand there and do nothing.
You could say the same thing about booing. You know, you could just stand there and do nothing. So your restaurant card analogy, I don't like to dismay and besmirch. It's not apples to apples at all. It's actually the complete opposite of that. So your analogy stunk, is what I'm trying to tell you. But I appreciate your effort. But as Chili always says, and you know this, what don't you do? Don't you ever do?
I'm not even participating in this. You were looking at your phone. You weren't even listening to my analogy. Who are you to judge?
The restaurant card, I appreciate the restaurant card thing, but you're right. You have to go out of your way to do it. When you're at a Bucs game and somebody gets thrown up on the Jumbotron, you're going to cheer or you're going to boo. You're going to pick one of the two. It's not you go to the Jumbotron operator and say, hey, I really want to boo Aaron Rodgers. Can you put him up on the screen? That would be the same.
I don't. Okay, I'm going to give up. I don't think people are eager to call in to tell us how much they respect what Aaron Rodgers accomplished.
Oh, now that is different. Yes. Jason.
Sorry, I wasn't clear. That's on me.
Well, that's a completely different thing than filling out a restaurant card. Jesse, can you agree with me on that?
Very different, Tausch. Very different, yeah.
Yes.
Bucs minority owner, Aaron Rodgers.
But, right, Jason, I mean, when you start looking at it, the filling out a comment card or news media, what draws more attention? Do you, when you're driving by and you see empty grass, are you looking at it saying, hey, kids, go take a look at that beautiful sod? But if there is a car accident and cop cars, is everybody's eyes going to glance over and say, oh, I wonder what happened? Oh, I hope they're okay. There's your comp.
Yeah,
there's your analogy.
The one thing that I draw attention to when we're driving, and I don't know why I do it, and it just makes me stupid, but it's always, hey, look, horses, or hey, look, cows. I mean,
oh yeah,
that's such a total dad thing to do, right?
No, when we go on trips, you play the animal game where you can try to find different animals, whether it's a deer, hopefully not ricocheting off your hood, or raccoons, or different. When you're out in the wilderness, you're out at a national park. We play that game, and I think it's always fun. But yes, you're drawn to moving things that will kind of stimulate you. And typically negativity sells more than positivity, which is what I believe your restaurant card analogy was trying to do.
All right, moving on from my flubbed analogy work with the king of all analogies. My bad. I'll stay in my lane. Our preemptive poll from yesterday as we were departing the Tundra Trio, looking over that dark green tarp blocking our view of the players parking and Aaron Rodgers walking in dressed as Nicolas Cage in Con Air. What are your current expectations for the 2023 Green Bay Packers? We are approaching 3,000 votes on that. Your choices were win the NFC North, sneak into the playoffs, 500-ish, or total rebuild / stink. Now, I got a few responses from folks who said potentially they could win the NFC North and sneak into the playoffs with a 500-ish record while they're still in total rebuild mode, which is not wrong.
It's true. That is true.
Nevertheless, the plurality of votes, 48.8%, 500-ish. Next up, 24.7% sneak into the playoffs, and 13.8% win the NFC North. That means, if my calculations are correct, we got 38.5% of respondents saying they're going to the playoffs.
Hey, Packer fans don't know any better. Packer fans expect greatness. No, they do. I'm with them, by the way. I am not on the belief of, well, I think that you're going to see growing pains and learning curves and all of the other stuff we've talked about. But this is not the 90s where you have stacked teams all over the place with the Cowboys rolling and the San Francisco 49ers rolling. The Vikings were a good team. And you start looking around. There aren't some juggernaut. There's two teams that you think are head and shoulders above where Green Bay is right now, pre-draft. Those are the two teams that played in the NFC Championship game. One of those teams has no quarterback. They have a quarterback that everybody has kicked off their team as their starter right now.
Mm-hmm.
And quarterback matters. The other team is coming off of a Super Bowl loss, which, as we've seen, there are hangovers with this. There is. Now, you could say, well, Philadelphia's got a veteran O-line. They got an old O-line. You know what happens to old offensive linemen? They break down. Lane Johnson was broke down for a while last year.
Right.
If they're not good up front, that team is going to drop. So while I understand the angst and why people are down on Green Bay, if Jordan Love can play like Aaron Rodgers did in 2008, which was good, not like some world all MVP, or if Jordan Love is a very competent NFC quarterback, he will rocket up the list of where he ranks as quarterbacks, because there is a ton of uncertainty and a ton of new players that are going to be coming in. You'd make a very good argument that Kirk Cousins is the second best quarterback in the NFC. You make a really good argument.
Good.
Anybody scared blankless of a Minnesota Viking-led team that has gutted their defense and think Dalvin Cook might actually be on the way out? Anybody scared of any of that? So for Packer fans, don't just accept the fact, now, can the season become a rebuild and we have struggles? Sure. There's a lot of good football players that walked in that building yesterday. There's a lot of good football players. There is a good offensive line. If Jordan Love is competent, which obviously everybody feels like he is, or you don't do this, and your coaching staff is good, which everybody feels, all I heard for 3 years is greatest start in the history of the NFL. Now, I was saying it because it's true, but Matt LaFleur is the greatest coach throughout the 3-year history of the NFL coaching career to start. He is the greatest 3-year coach record-wise we've ever seen. He has control back of his offense. So for Packer fans to not think that this team shouldn't be sniffing around the playoffs, I think you're setting your bar too low.
Let's play some trivia.
How'd you vote in that?
500-ish.
Okay.
7 and 10 is the high water mark for me. It could be worse, I think. There were some good football players who walked into that building. There are a lot of good football players who didn't walk into that building.
Mason, Crosby, Aaron Rodgers. Tell me who else.
I want to get to trivia. I'll go through the list. Coming up. Jesse, what's today's category? What caller would you like?
Know your NBA playoffs. Today's category.
That Sacramento Golden State game was a good game last night. It was
fun. Yeah. Fun
I enjoyed watching that. It was still on at 11 o'clock when I got home. It was only in like the early third quarter, too. All right. Playoff series are 7 games. We'll take caller 7. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 7 right now to play Wilde Tausch Trivia. That's next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. When you're injured, call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 30 years and proudly partnering with Wilde Tausch. Miss any of the show? Find it with Wisconsin On Demand. Presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This Bucks team is something special. There's unbelievable, once-in-a-lifetime freakish talent like you've never seen before. The blocks, the dunks, the next-level energy, and a hungry core that's running the court, dropping shots, and posting stat after stat after stat. The playoffs presented by BMO are here. Fear the Deer. Keep up with all the postseason action at Bucks.com/playoffs. That's Bucks.com/playoffs.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no compromised durability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends, this is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Cousin Subs wants to make you a VIP. On Saturday, June 4th, Donald Driver will be hosting his charity softball game at Fox City Stadium in Appleton, Wisconsin. Cousins and Double D are teaming up to offer you a chance to be their VIP guest. The VIP winner will win a package that includes a meet and greet with Double D and Jordy Nelson, VIP seating, food and beverage, and Cousins Subs for a year. Enter daily at cousinsubs.com/softball now through May 15th. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6 to 8 count Mega Rolls Angel Soft Bath Tissue, $6.99. 5 to 8 count box or 20 count mini selected varieties Nestle Drumstick Sundae Cones, $7.49. 5.3 ounce cup yogurt or 7 ounce bottle smoothie selected varieties Dan & Light and Fit Zero Sugar or Too Good Greek yogurt or smoothie, 4 for $5. 20 ounce package selected varieties Butoni family size pasta, $5.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
There's only one place in Milwaukee where every day of the year, dreams and reality get together for a great time. Where you can walk in a player and walk out a winner. That place, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With fantastic dining, gaming, sports betting, a luxurious hotel, and endless ways to win, the excitement never stops. The only thing missing is you. Your win is waiting, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Visit our website to learn more. Must be 21 to enter casino.
The NBA playoffs are finally here.
Drives in on Giannis, puts the shot up, rejected by Giannis on the second jump.
And the quest for a championship starts on Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia.
He's been their best three-point shooter so far. He's just found his niche.
Every series right here. And it starts in round 1 when the Bucks try to take down the Miami Heat.
Punishing dunk from the Greek Freak. Take that.
You can listen live throughout the playoffs right here on 94.5 ESPN.
We don't want you on our team.
You're not the right fit for this job.
You're too slow and fast.
Don't you care how you look?
Weight bias hurts. Go to stopweightbias.com. A public service message from Obesity Action Coalition.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Jesse, I see some fireworks on my phone. I know what that means. It means let's play some trivia, and let's play it with a first-time contestant. Much like 72.2% of respondents to our poll, we cheer. They cheer Aaron Rodgers. We cheer Kyle in a car as our first-time contestant. Kyle, good morning. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you.
The category is Know Your NBA Playoffs. The first question, Kyle, is this. In addition to TNT and ESPN/ABC, which of these TV networks is also home to select games, including the Bucks-Heat game on Wednesday night in the first round of the NBA playoffs? Is that game on NBA TV, True TV, or the Food Network?
I'm going to have to go with NBA TV.
Yeah, you got to go with NBA TV. Sneaky tricky with all those college games that were on True TV. But you nailed it.
Indeed.
I also watched 4 NBA games yesterday during the course of our show because NBA TV showed 4 playoff games in a 3-hour window. It was amazing.
Anyone want to sign up for the alternate broadcast with Guy Fieri on the Food Network, though? With, like, the Manning cast, but Food Network?
That'd be entertaining for sure.
Jesse had that joke. He's waiting to make that joke.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
He set that up nicely.
Thanks.
All right. Which of these teams is not a 6th seed in either conference in this year's NBA playoffs? Is it the Golden State Warriors, the Brooklyn Nets, or the Los Angeles Clippers?
Boy. All of those teams are in the playoffs. I don't know the seeds all that well.
Who would, really?
I'm going to go with the Brooklyn Nets. I think, yeah.
I gotta be honest, I only knew that the Warriors were a 6th seed because I watched the game last night and they have their seeds next to their names on the bottom line. Jesse, what's the correct answer here?
Los Angeles Clippers are a 5 seed against the 4 seed Phoenix Suns. Kind of crazy that the Nets, who seem like they fell off a cliff after trading people away, and the Warriors, who you consider to be a perennial contender, are both
reigning champs.
6 seeds. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's bounce back here from that question, which wasn't great. Kyle, here's question 3. There were 3 players who scored 38 points in Game 1 of their respective series over the weekend. Oh, not another one of these not questions. Which of these is not one of the players who scored 38 points in Game 1 for his team? Was it Donovan Mitchell of the Cavaliers who did not score 38 points? Was it De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings who did not score 38 points? Or was it Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics who did not score 38 points in his first game of his series?
You know, Jesse. You gotta change up the way you're doing these questions. I know De'Aaron Fox did score 38 points, but I don't watch the stats that close, Jesse.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Give
with,
it to him, Kyle. You tell him.
Yeah. Look, give him an entry
let's
for
go
ripping
with,
Jesse.
Spider. Let's go with Spider on that one. Donovan Mitchell did not score 38 points.
Oh no, he did. Oh. You're the worst. The joy he takes in other people's disappointments.
Take that, Kyle.
Kyle, we appreciate your loyalty to the show. We appreciate that you got after Jesse for these questions. But you still only have 2 of the possible 4 entries into Friday's drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate your loyalty, man.
Thank you.
It was Jaylen Brown, by the way.
Yeah, no, he already told us De'Aaron Fox had 38.
Yeah.
Process of elimination. Who's getting that question right?
So, in fairness to Kyle, the original...
I would have gotten it right.
Thanks, Tausch.
Did Prize pick one of those guys or something?
No, but now Prize Picks, I'm back paying more attention, studying my data, and trying to make informed entries when I make my entries.
More or less.
Yeah.
The original intent of the question was going to be who scored the most points in a Game 1.
Well,
and then I
the
did
best
the
intentions are paved to hell or something like that, isn't it?
Something like that.
Then I found out there were 3 players that all scored the same amount of points, so then we had to change up the question. Kawhi Leonard also had 38. Clippers.
So wait, there was a third? Oh.
Yeah, there was another guy that had 38. Yeah.
You're the worst.
Wasn't Jaylen Brown, though. Kyle learned that the hard way, didn't he?
How many
what
points
did Jaylen
Brown score?
37?
29, I believe he had.
You're the worst.
Yeah, they blew him out.
Yeah,
he could have scored more if he'd have played longer.
All right, that's the end of trivia. That is also the end of the 10 o'clock hour.
Anybody else enjoy that car noise? Like, I like when there's Kyle in a car. I like that little as he's talking. I enjoy it.
So close to getting out on time as we get ready to talk to Badgers offensive coordinator Phil Longo at 11:15. We will kick off the 11 o'clock hour next with some discussion of the launch. Stick around. It's Wilde Tausch.
A wide array of opportunities abound at Waste Management.
Waste Management is always hiring, and let me share with you why. When Jerome goes from customer service to technical service, that position comes open. Jerome didn't leave the company. He just moved up. So now that gives somebody else an opportunity to come in the door. Most of the individuals that I worked with in customer service 18 years ago, they're still here, but they're in a variety of other roles.
Join the Waste Management family. Just search online, Waste Management Careers.
I'm Ben Jewick with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. 2023 is our 135th year in business, making it the perfect time for our crew to help you create a workspace that will help you attract, retain, and grow your business. The office is the cultural hub of the organization. We can help with interior design, construction, new furniture, and move management. Like Milwaukee's baseball team, our crew excels at home and on the road. If your company has a national facilities footprint, we can hit for you in any ballpark. Championship organizations are built on teamwork and collaboration. Visit brothersinteriors.com to see how we can help your team win.
Q Club of Wisconsin is the perfect game day destination to catch all of your favorite teams in action. With tons of TVs in their sports bar, plus drinks and great food, it's the place to be. Check out their fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays and brunch specials on the weekends. Plus, this year, Q Club of Wisconsin is the official football draft headquarters for ESPN Milwaukee. Catch 94.5 ESPN broadcasting live from Q Club of Wisconsin during round 1 of the draft on April 27th. Q Club of Wisconsin in Waukesha. QClubofWI.com.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. If there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Greg Scalzo and Ben Bros.
Catch us Monday through Friday, 4 to 6.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch with Badgers offensive coordinator Phil Longo scheduled to appear coming up in a little bit. Reading some of the tweets from the various reporters that were at spring practice. Some struggles offensively.
Uh-oh.
Drops.
That makes Phil be coming in here a little cranky.
So I'm curious, having played for your share of offensive coordinators, after a bad practice, I would assume that on the top of their to-do list is not talking to a couple of knuckleheads like us. What do we need to do here to set the right tone when he comes on?
I have a couple of off-the-wall questions. I'll let you handle most of the football questions since I'm more of the fun journalist of the two of us.
Is that right?
Now, no, I don't know if that's right. I think a lot of times, especially if you're having a ton of success and things are humming along and you're getting to that end of spring, you have the launches on Saturday. I always think coaches, because they're masochists, they enjoy when they have a bad day. They like to be able to reset players' mindsets and say it forces you to refocus, because when things are going real smooth and everything is kind of running according to plan, things can get a little bit complacent. And as a player, I think you're always perked up a little bit more in your seat when a coach gets after you after a practice gets done. You watch that film, and you move on with your life. But it sometimes is good to get that little kick in the tail to say, I think you got the answers. You ain't got the answers. Refocus, reset, and I think that would my guess. And the coaches, they like to distract themselves from, they can get back into it and watch it. It's good sometimes to give them 15 minutes of levity to reset their brain. That's what I'm going with anyways.
Well, we'll see how that goes with Phil coming up. The launch is Saturday. This is the spring game. Some people call it that. That's not what we're calling it at the University of Wisconsin. It is a practice that will
also
Is it a soft
include... launch or a hard launch, though? I mean, we've been launching video. Like, what's the difference?
Open practice that will include 11-on-11 scrimmage situations. Begins at 1 o'clock. Admission is free, but you can reserve your tickets at uwbadgers.com. Also, brats $4, hot dogs $3, nachos $3, popcorn $3, pretzels $3.
Oh, heck yeah.
Souvenir soda $3, bottled water $2.
What is this? What is this, Augusta National? We got pimento cheese sandwiches?
Grab yourself a free Pepsi Mountain Dew product on your way out of the stadium? Heck yeah.
There's also a Badger Kids Combine where you can do some drill work, and Bucky's Locker Room will hold its annual sidewalk sale, so you can get some nice T-shirts while you're there. Now,
yeah, it's always interesting to me because we've done this spring game, and in our heyday when Ron was running, and I don't ever remember selling out Camp Randall. Ohio State gets like 70-some thousand people. Penn State, I saw people were tailgating. They draw a big number. Nebraska. And I understand, if it's nice out, people want to go do other stuff. I get it. But I've always wondered, because nobody's questioning the loyalty and depth of Badger fandom, but I always am wondering why the Michigans and the Ohio States get these monster crowds, and we've always kind of struggled. And this, being the launch, it is going to look a lot different. This isn't your mama's Wisconsin Badger football team anymore.
Or your papas.
This isn't the jumbo Bargo, cargo, 15 linemen, fullbacks, all this other stuff. There's going to be a lot of differences that you're going to notice. And I think if you get any kind of decent weather, I'll be surprised if you don't get 15 or 20,000 people out there.
Again, the event is free. You can find out more on uwbadgers.com. What I wanted to ask you, Tausch, is that the launch sounds a hell of a lot more interesting than the annual spring game. And I just feel like not only have they gotten a bunch of terrific recruits, and not only is there a level of excitement and interest that newness always brings, but this is even more so, but they've done a pretty damn good job of branding. Like, it feels like they've done a really good job of capitalizing on fickle mania, and it's just simple things like this. Like, doesn't the launch just imply something that you want to be a part of? Feels like it to me.
Do you want to be launched from a trampoline into the lake?
No, but I want to. I've been to a.
You want to be launched from an airplane?
I've been to a launch of the space shuttle. That was pretty cool.
Listen, I think what the Badgers have done from where we were when we walked off that, I don't remember if it was cold or rainy. I know it was dreary.
Was Eddie Lacy there?
If it was 90 degrees or what it was, the day that Illinois came in here and stomped us.
It was a beautiful sunny day.
Felt dreary, though.
But it maybe was a beautiful sunny day for y'all.
We golfed
for a lot
that
of
afternoon.
us. For a lot of us, it was dreary because it was what turns out to be rock bottom. And if you can picture that, which I can, Jesse's out golfing, having Coors Lights, enjoying his life, which is great. To where we are now with the excitement level and with the anticipation of a launch/spring game, the Wisconsin, what Mac has done in making sure everybody over there is going full tilt, and you have a head coach that is full tilt, understanding that it can't just be a couple of coaches out recruiting. It is everybody, the marketing team, the coaches, the players, everybody involved in trying to resurrect and get this program back to where we all want it to be. It's been nothing short of great. But you know what? All of that is fun and beautiful, but you got to go do it. And I think Badger fans are excited, and they're also, what? No fullback? Huh? What are we doing here? What is going on? I think there's a bunch of, what do we got here? Because we know it's exciting, but is it exciting and it's going to be successful? We're all excited. Now let's see what else that brings.
Have you been to a practice?
I've gotten over to one. I should be over to more, but
so one of the things I want to talk about with Phil Longo, since I do spend every day with a former Badger road grading offensive lineman, is how different is this going to look? Because he did say when he got the job, I'd be an idiot if I came to Wisconsin and didn't run the football. But it ain't, as you said so eloquently, it ain't your mama's.
Yeah, mama's.
Mama.
Little mama. Yeah. Oh, my little mama.
Ain't no Matt Bernstein. Ain't no Alec Ingold.
My safe little 6 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends, and a fullback. Oh, it's so comfy. That's not happening. Not that I saw.
So we'll talk to him about that. Do we broach all the drops in practice?
Sure. Hey, Coach, how was practice today?
I've gotten
That's a great start.
I've gotten some intel that I'm going to put to use. Well, thank you to my buddy Colton Bartholomew, the Badgers football beat writer from the State Journal.
I've also gotten some intel. So we'll see which intel's which. I'm sure
I've
we'll have run
also
over
gotten
questions.
some intel.
Best Phil in college football. No. For those
Who's
of you,
your favorite? Who's your favorite poker player? Phil Ivey, Phil Carpenter, or Phil Hellmuth?
Who is the best
Phil Collins song?
Phil Collins.
We're not doing that.
Where's Jen? Jen Latta. Hey, we got to do a list of Phils. I mean, that's her thing, is list. I don't know where that comes in Phil. Yeah, it's
Phil from The Amazing Race. He was cool.
Wasn't Phil Bum Phillips? Isn't that his real name? Was Philip Phillips or not?
No, that's the guy that sings Home and was you.
Oh, that's
big supporter
I love
of
that
Fan.
song. Yeah, I love that song. Hey, we got to get to break.
I will do
Let's
it
go.
for you. All right, Phil Longo. Now I'm going to call him Phil Collins because of this. The Badgers offensive coordinator scheduled to appear next. It's Wilde Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. A staple of Ben's Beer Fridge is the Oh-So Never Forgotten series. My guy Mark Butera has some details on one brew with a special meaning.
The beer is the Never Forgotten Lager beer. It's our summer seasonal beer. It's a real easy drinking light lager beer too, so Grandpa can get behind it, everybody can get behind it. In our area, the Never Forgotten Honor Flight is in the central Wisconsin area, so we give $2 for every case, and we give $15 for every half barrel that's sold out in the market. This year, we've kind of expanded on that, so if the beer sells in a different Honor Flight area, well, the proceeds go to that Honor Flight. So we're actually getting all 6 Wisconsin Honor Flights involved in this thing, so which is pretty cool.
Thanks to Mark from Oh-So for joining Ben's Beer Fridge, and remember, get your Never Forgotten before it's gone. And also remember, the fridge is always stocked.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at boucher.com.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Graduation season is just around the corner, and what better way to celebrate than with custom banners and yard signs from Fast Signs of Glendale. Their team of experts can create personalized banners and yard signs that will make your graduate feel extra special on their big day. With their exceptional service and attention to detail, you can trust that your order will be perfect every time. Let Fast Signs of Glendale help you make your graduate's day even more memorable with a custom banner or yard sign. Fast Signs of Glendale. Mention summer 2023 for special graduation pricing.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Well, it would appear that we will have to fill a buster. Credit to Jesse for that line. As we effort for Phil Longo, the Badgers offensive coordinator. Maybe it took him a little while longer to talk about some of the drops that were at practice today.
Yeah?
Slowing him down on the schedule. Tausch, I mentioned this to you earlier, and I do want to ask Phil about this when we eventually talk with him. But do you think a lot of the excitement comes from the many, many, many Badgers fans that I think felt the formula that dated back to the Barry Alvarez era and your era and all the success and all the running the football and quarterback game managers? Do you think that's even more than Fickell's personality or the big recruits or whatever? Do you think that's the biggest thing that has people excited? Is just something vastly different offensively? Or no?
Can I be honest with you? I am looking at different Phils. I am kind of stuck on. I understand your question.
Oh my God!
I respect it. I will
didn't
answer
really hear
it.
it.
No, I heard it. I can't really get past Uncle Phil from Fresh
Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah,
Dr. Phil, one of the big syndicated shows. Dr. Phil, Phil Mickelson, Phil McGraw. Like there is just there's so many Phils that you don't
Phil
think
McGraw?
About. Wasn't that an old pitcher? Wasn't that old Tug McGraw? Wasn't his name
Tug
Phil?
McGraw. Isn't Phil McGraw Dr. Phil? I think
Phil McGraw is Dr. Phil.
Is Dr. Phil.
Yeah. But he's also Tug McGraw, is he not? Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's on that list.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Is he passed away?
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman no longer with us.
Philip Baker Hall. Do you know who Philip Baker Hall is?
Yes, I do. He is Bookman, the library cop on Seinfeld, also no longer with us. R.I.P. to him.
Phil Hartman. R.I.P.
Can we go to someone who's still with us? Let's go back to Philip Phillips.
We've had our fill of dead people.
Rivers. Philip Rivers.
Why did Philip Phillips' parents name him Philip? That's what I really want to know. Great singer. Enjoy his work.
Would he have been as memorable if his name was Tom Phillips? I don't think so.
His talent would have been the same?
No, would it? Like, you don't think branding works? Like Philip Phillips, oh, that's a weird name. Let me hear his music. Oh, he sings Home. Oh, American Family Insurance, they insure homes. Oh, Philip Phillips, that's catchy. If his name was Jack Phillips, he ain't getting those endorsements. He's
Jack's
just
a great name. People remember people named
He's just
Jack.
an independent musician out grinding at different restaurants and stops. But the fact that he was Philip Phillips
he's Jack
pushed
Phillips.
him over the top and got him where he needs to be.
Okay. Did you have any more Phils that you wanted to shout out? Find another
Phil
way to reference.
McConkey? Do you remember Phil McConkey, the old wideout for the New York Giants?
Yeah, sure. Phil McConkey.
Phil Simms, the quarterback for that? They had a lot of Phils.
As we have established,
Punxsutawney Phil?
Phil Connors, the character in Groundhog Day, played. Here's my issue. I love the fact that whenever we need to delay something, we just start naming people's names, and that's what dudes do. Like this could be a whole conversation if you're getting together with some of your buddies and you have nothing to talk about. Suddenly you just start throwing out sports names. Oh, remember this guy? Tausch is going through his mental Rolodex of his 1980s baseball cards.
Philip Daniels, an old DN for the Chicago Bears. Philip Daniels.
Did you ever block him?
I did. Usually pretty good. Usually did all right with Phil.
How about a Philly cheesesteak?
Is Philly the Fanatic? Is his name Phil? Like Phil? Or
well, he's from Philadelphia. Yes, I have a Philly Fanatic bobblehead. It is spelled PhilliepPhanatic.
Yeah, we'll give that a Phil. The Philly Fanatic could make Jen's list of different Phils.
Well, the only Phil that I want to talk to right now is Phil Longo.
Phil Jackson.
Is he available? Would he like to join us? He's got nothing going on. All right.
Joe Phil Hellmuth, Phil Ivey. There's a lot of poker players named Phil. Joe Philbin, Regis Philbin, R.I.P.
Let's make sure.
Philbert the Nut. Philbert the Nut, one of the more underrated nuts.
Did you say Mickelson yet?
We did.
I did. Okay. Nobody cares. Everybody's down on Phil, too.
Prince Philip? There's a Prince Philip?
The royal family bit's not my deal. But, yeah, there's a Prince Philip.
Phil Donahue. Philip Michael Thomas from
I don't know who that is.
Sonny and Crockett from Miami Vice. He's one of them. No. Okay.
Yeah. Mac in Nashota says Phil Dunphy, the character from Modern Family.
See, that is a show I legitimately have never watched an episode of. So I don't know anything about Modern Family.
All right. I've had my fill of Phils. Phil Necro doesn't get enough love. Knuckleballer.
Great knuckleballer.
Great Nevin. Joe.
Yeah.
Phil Nevin. We got old Scrap Iron Gardner, too. Phil Garner.
Phil Garner, sure. Yeah. Okay. We're going to take a break. And we're going to see if we get Phil Longo at 11:30. And if we don't, we'll do Wonelli and we'll reschedule with Phil Longo. Hopefully it won't be too long before we talk with him. Jesse.
Howie Long.
Howie Roseman. Howard the Duck. Howard Moore. Great fundraising effort by UW basketball, by the way. We talked about that on Friday. Great to see that. I saw a bunch of clips of Dick Bennett, Bo Ryan, Stu Jackson, and Greg Gard up on stage with our friend Phil LePay. Sorry. I couldn't resist, Matt. We love you.
He looks like a Phil.
Phil Longo or Wonelli are next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
This Bucks team is something special. There's unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime freakish talent like you've never seen before. The blocks, the dunks, the next-level energy, and a hungry core that's running the court, dropping shots, and posting stat after stat after stat. All this action will have you on your feet cheering Fear the Deer. The playoffs presented by BMO are here. Get your single-game tickets now at bucks.com/playoffs.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
Is that like a button, like a preset that just happens when you hit a certain age and all of a sudden you start making unnecessary noises?
You can never be too sure.
Yeah, I make them all the time. Well, like my wife, I have big lungs.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Takes time to get them filled with air.
How do you know your wife has big lungs?
Take a look.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. The Brew Crew is back, and we're here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960 we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for game day. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, only 10 minutes from AmFam Field, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Main.
Discount Liquor.
Enjoy a world of street food fare in the largest tequila collection in town at Blue Bat Kitchen and Tequileria. Blue Bat is a destination for some of Milwaukee's best tacos, shareable appetizers, and margaritas in a fun environment right on the river in the historic 3rd Ward, serving up global flavors and good times 7 days a week. Blue Bat Kitchen will also turn your next party into a full-blown fiesta with an off-site catering taco bar. Visit Blue Bat Kitchen on Water Street or check out bluebatkitchen.com.
If you have joint pain and they're telling you surgery is your best option, please stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Tony Smith. The professionals at QC Kinetics use the latest, most advanced regenerative treatments to bring lasting pain relief the natural way. Regenerative medicine harnesses your own body's healing agents to restore and repair damaged tissue in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, and back. The precision treatments are done in the office with no drugs and no downtime. QC Kinetics has hundreds of clinics all over America and thousands of satisfied patients. If your joints are aching from arthritis or injury, look beyond steroids and surgery and discover the amazing possibilities with regenerative medicine. Especially this time of year, you need to be living life to the fullest and doing the stuff you love to do. If you can get relief and avoid going under the knife, doesn't it make sense to check it out? Call QC Kinetics now. It's a free consultation, no obligations. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. 414-285-3474.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
What y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Look out. Pop, it's showtime. Showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Showed up, I'm wearing Cuban links. Designer mix. Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to get the color red, the blues.
I don't know if I should say I'm sorry for our filibustering or say you're welcome, because it was either so bad or so entertaining. But nevertheless, Phil Longo will spend some time with us at some other point. We have been unable to connect with him. So, time now instead for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic
Phil
is good,
Dawson.
the guys
What are we doing
discuss.
here? Phil Dawson.
Yeah, I said that. You weren't listening.
The kicker or the host?
Dude, I meant the kicker.
But if it's not, the show must
Oh,
go
I meant
on.
Phil Dawson.
It's time for
both Phil Dawson, the old
Wilde Tausch.
Family Feud guy.
That's Richard Dawson.
Oh, it is?
I've heard it both ways.
Richard Simmons. Wayne Simmons.
No,
Wayne
don't
Larrabee.
go down that road.
Ben in Madison says philosophy.
Okay.
Nah.
Whoa, Nelly! I bet there's a Phil that we're missing that people are going to text in and we'll be like, how did we forget about that Phil?
Was there a disciple named Philip?
Philip.
Lesser known disciple. Doesn't get as much run as Judas or Thomas or Peter or Paul. Jesse, save us.
So, Jason, how long ago was it now that you were at that hotel with the noisy neighbors up top? Big Linda.
Oh, Big Linda. Big Linda.
Up upstairs. Yeah, how long ago was that? When did that occur?
It's coincidental that you would ask, because Sydney has a soccer tournament in Wausau, and the team hotel is that same La Quinta. I think we're going to find other accommodations after that experience, frankly. So a little over a month, maybe 6 weeks probably 8 weeks ago. Why?
Yesterday on Tausch's favorite show, Get Up, Brian Windhorst, NBA insider for ESPN, was experiencing a little hotel situation of his own.
Uh-oh.
Here is, now Greeny was out, so this was Brian Custer filling in as the host of the show, talking to Wendy, and he was whispering throughout
General
the course
Custer.
of the show. Oh, my God. So here they are, interacting, asking...
Frozen Custer!
Frozen Custer's
Tough to
pretty
beat.
good.
Tough to beat. Here's Brian Windhorst on Get Up yesterday.
Wendy, that's why I'm playing injured. I'm trying to figure out, why are you the only one whispering? Everyone else is answering questions and talking. You're whispering. Why are you whispering?
Well, we all have adverse situations, and apparently someone in the hotel room next to me was not a Get Up viewer and not happy about the early wake-up call here in Phoenix. And let's just say that messages have been delivered not in a soft manner. So I'm trying to avoid having a wrap on any part of my body.
Did the hotel manager tell you, knock on your door and say, quiet down in there?
This individual did not contact the manager, but their point was made very strongly. So I'm trying to respect my neighbors here in Phoenix before 7 a.m. here.
So Wendy was yelled at by his neighbor in the hotel room next door for being too loud at 7 in the morning. Is it more justifiable to complain about a noise violation at the hotel at late at night or early in the morning?
It's a tough dilemma.
Great question, Jesse. This Whoa Nelly is fantastic. I go late at night because people want to sleep, and there is kind of an unwritten rule. And actually, I think it's written. It's one of those rare unwritten, written rules of anything after 10 o'clock, you need to kind of keep it down. No kids out playing shinny hockey and running around and causing ruckuses. Mornings, who's to say what time you can be up working? You're in Phoenix. You're on Mountain Time or Pacific. I don't remember. People are going to be up working. Okay? So I'm going to be doing a show from a hotel in a couple weeks here. I'm loud. I talk loud. I'm like Big Linda. I stomp around a lot. So I hope nobody's sitting there that doesn't like Wilde Tausch when we're up hammering out at a hockey tournament and I'm doing the show. But if they are, you guys might hear it like this. I can't believe the Packers took Kincaid with the 15th pick.
Are you going to be in a faraway time zone for this hockey tournament that this will be problematic, or should you be okay time-wise? It's just
do you feel like if you're doing it at 9 o'clock, is that okay?
Yeah, 9 o'clock
to be loud.
Game, yeah, for
so
sure.
So Get Up begins at 8 a.m. Central.
7 a.m.
Central.
Same as Good
So
Morning
6
America.
or 5
Jason,
out
come
there.
on.
Yeah, so we get confused in Arizona. They are on Pacific time now that we've jumped ahead. So 7 Central means Wendy is talking loudly at 5 a.m. Phoenix time in his hotel.
Early. That's early.
I think Phoenix time is Mountain Time, though, so it's really only 6, and that's that cutoff line. But you don't know what they do daylight savings times wise. You just don't know.
I literally do. I literally looked up, what time is it in Arizona right now? And it's 11:37 here, and it's 9:37 there.
Philip Lindsay, good strong tailback for Denver. Philip Fulmer, old ball coach down at Tennessee. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly!
Millard Fillmore.
But the first name has to be Phil, just so we're all on the same
now
page.
it does.
Whoa, Nelly!
What time is it in Phoenix?
I still don't know. And I don't think you know, just for the record. I know you're preaching to me, but I don't think you know.
I looked it up! Go ahead.
Brewers got a 7-3 win last night in Seattle over the Mariners, but Corbin Burns left with an injury. Here's manager Craig
Phil
Phil
Buhner.
Council.
No, Phil Buhner. The old, remember, isn't it Phil Buhner or is it Jay Buhner?
Jay Buhner.
I so badly want more Phils. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Here's Phil Council after the game on what happened.
It's a left chest muscle strain, pectoral muscle, minor. We'll just see how, not ruling him out for his next start. We'll just kind of see how he feels over the next couple days. He's pretty optimistic.
Is it a foolish question to ask which injury should we be more concerned about right now? Because both coaches or managers downplaying the injuries to Giannis in the playoffs and to Ace Corbin Burns out in Seattle. Tausch is already grabbing his forehead.
Oh, my God. You're trying to continue to bring up Giannis to make yourself feel better about yesterday's whatever that was, analysis. I don't know. Jesse, it is a game 14 or 15 of the season out in Seattle, and are we worried? Yeah, it's obviously not ideal. You're talking about the playoffs with a team that was the odds-on favorite to win a world championship with their superstar all-world player missing the game, and you're asking me what I'm more concerned about? Is that really a question? Like, are you more concerned about old boy missing a start when manager just said, it's not that big a deal, he might miss a start, we might not, or Giannis, no, if he can even play in a playoff game? That's a question that we're answering on Wilde Tausch.
I asked you, is it foolish to ask the question? So you could say...
So the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, Nelly! Oh, my God.
Today...
What did happen to that sound graph of your insights into the Bucs
long drive
series?
from Green Bay home yesterday. Long drive, man. Today is National Lineman Appreciation Day.
Well, I don't feel that.
Where we celebrate...
OT ain't feeling that.
Where we celebrate all of the workers who work on electrical lines and telephone lines. National Lineman Day. Tausch, as I saw this, the picture that I thought I saw on our official site for all national
Was Tausch
days,
up on a pole?
No, it looks like a guy that's getting ready to go zip lining. So my question is...
that looks fun.
Tausch, have you ever been zip lining, or what would it take for you to go zip lining?
An incredibly strong tree and an incredibly strong zip line. That's what it would take for me to go zip lining. No, I was over the weight limit for the zip lining when we were in Costa Rica. Oh. And actually, Sarah, she busted her hand, and she couldn't go zip lining.
What?
So, well, and again, this was... so we're going on this trip, and the hockey team over at the Edgewater Hotel in Madison does this fun little skate with the Badger deal. This was, I don't know how many years ago. An old girl comes back, and she's like, I think I broke my hand. And I said, you weren't even skating. The kids are out there skating. The adults aren't out there skating. She, tripped, and sure enough, she cracked her wrist. And she still, because we had planned, as you know, we planned these trips out.
You do?
She was trying to hide her busted wrist, thinking she could go zipline with a busted wrist. She got a cast. I don't know if it was a cast or one of those big sleeves. I don't know what happens, but when we decide we're going on a vacation, old girl ends up she ends up injuring something. We hiked the Grand Canyon. She comes out, and I remember telling that story. She comes out with 2 knee sleeves on and 2 of those big ski poles because she busted her knee up. It's so yes, I would zip line if it was a very, very, very strong zip line pole, but I don't see that in my future.
So
what does that have to do with linemen?
Because the picture of the lineman up on the pole looked like he was ziplining on power lines, which sounds dangerous to me.
Yeah. You understand they're not ziplining, right? They're actually up there working on our electric grid.
All I said was the picture when I saw National Lineman Day looked like a guy ziplining. Yes, I understand that the guy who's working on the telephone pole is not then going to take out a little thing and go, wee, and go down.
Be kind of cool if he did, though, am I right?
Don't you think we should, and again, NFL linemen, get college linemen. We all get a lot of love. I don't get it on this show, but a lot of gratitude. I don't get it on this show. But linemen, they don't get any love. Is it wrong for NFL offensive and defensive linemen to somewhat hijack Lineman Day that is meant for the blue-collar grit and grid-keeping power electricity running folks? Is that IPT?
Well, you would say that the linemen that keep the power lines going and the linemen up front on the offense are both the ones that supply the power that their teams need. They're also really likable people. I mean, present company.
No, how many linemen do you know?
Well, as it turned out, we had a power outage in our neighborhood about 6-7 weeks ago where somebody crashed into the power pole on a nearby street. And so I talked to a few linemen as they were waiting to get us up and running. They could not have been friendlier. Petting the dogs.
Did you take them a lemonade or something? Did you get them a lemonade or something?
Well, it wasn't right in front of our house. I was walking the dogs. They were out there working. They were waiting for something. So we struck up a conversation. They were very friendly.
What'd you guys talk about? Let me hear
We
it.
talked about how the guy ran into the power pole for starters. Then they asked about the dogs and what kind of dogs they were and all that kind of good stuff. I was hoping.
Yeah, but what questions did you ask those guys? Besides, hey, can you get my power on so I can watch the next episode of Dancing with the Stars? What was your
think
question
about
to the
Dancing
lineman?
with the Stars guy? What made
I
you go
think
there?
I don't know. What makes you think so?
I thought you'd go Law and Order there. My question would be to them: are you afraid of electricity? Because I am afraid of electricity.
They got those big gloves. They wear
do
those
really
big, heavy
work?
gloves.
Can I walk around with those and do whatever I want? I would never do like any electrical work in our house. Even if I shut off all the electricity, I would be afraid that I would do something wrong and electrocute myself. So God bless them for their work. Thank you for your service, linemen.
I feel like you're afraid of everything.
I'm afraid of a lot of things. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Totally.
But you're not
fair.
afraid of spiders, I bet. I bet you're not afraid of spiders.
I'm not afraid of them. I'm bigger than them. Although I have not come across like a tarantula or a black widow, so yeah, I'd be afraid of those. But like house spiders, no, they don't scare me. I take care of them. I take care of them around here. I'm the spider guy.
John Philip Sousa?
Is that what you've been doing this whole time?
Phyllis Diller?
Yeah, I was wondering if you could go like Felicia Rashad, if that worked, because it's Phyll.
Is Felicia
right?
Rashad PH?
I thought Phyllis. Who's the famous Phyllis comedian? Wasn't there
Phyllis Diller.
Phyllis Diller, who was mentioned
Phyllis
moments
Giller.
ago.
Geller? Phyllis Geller? I don't know. Are we running out of Phils?
You just did Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, I was wrong.
By Felicia. How about that one? You are right. Phy Felicia Rashad.
Thank you.
Tausch was right.
Oh.
You're welcome for your service. We will circle back to our poll questions of the day to wrap things up, unless Tausch thinks of other fills that he wants to bring up in the final segment of Wilde and Tausch. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula on Advent's one-stop shop office-based procedures approach to solving breathing triangle problems.
A lot of folks are like, I don't want to go to surgery. You know, isn't there something else we can do? And at Advent, there is something else we can do. We have a whole host of office-based options where you don't have to go to surgery. We could do it under local anesthesia, get these things taken care of. How does that sound? And don't be surprised when you hear that a lot of people go for those options. When given the choice between surgery and office procedures, almost everybody that we talk to and give them the choice, they choose the office. That's not surprising. That's just understanding your patients and offering them the options that they would choose. So I think at Advent, when you put all that together, we are a one-stop shop for these issues.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
It's Jeff Levering for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Look at that effortless horizontal window slide, letting in lots of light. And that roll, it's a double play. Like magic, the screen disappears when the window is closed. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door, featuring the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Order by April 30th and get 0% for 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
The Club at Lac La Belle is the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin, with a rich history you will feel once you arrive. Experience a round at the Club at Lac La Belle. The redesigned course is open to the public 7 days a week. Schedule your tee time today at clubatlaclabelle.com. This is a golf destination that you will want to play over and over again, and enjoy fine dining and event space after your round. An historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to clubatlaclabelle.com to start your journey.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group, with over 40 years of experience saving businesses money. Another year has come and gone. How did yours go? Do you have more money in the bank than last January? Do you just have a job, or do you run a business? 85% of business owners just have a job. Our years of experience and proven strategies help you run your business profitably and get it ready to sell when you are ready. That's the end game, right? We help you look at the numbers and understand what they mean. Just ask Jason, Michelle, or Peter, who sold their businesses this year for a nice price. Do you want to get a decent salary, pay what you owe, and make a profit too? Let us help you improve your business so you can work less and make more. Sounds pretty good, right? To get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, book a call or meeting at nealgroup.net right now. That's NEAL group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help. Again, nealgroup.net.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
If only Philip Kohler was the head of Kohler Services, then we'd really be onto something, right?
We would be, and you know what? If you're looking for a new shower, what a great time to be looking, because Kohler Services is got a great deal for you. Kohler Services, a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service, brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. When you think quality, you think premium luxury brand of Wisconsin, Kohler is at the top of that list. It is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower this year with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote. Tell them that I sent you. Again, that's kswisconsin.com. Phil Kessel. It's NHL playoffs started, baby. Madison native Phil Kessel. Are we kidding me? Why did we forget that? Let's go.
We were too busy saying Dr. Phil and Phil McGraw.
Phil Keegan we joined our show way back in the day, Amazing Race, host of Amazing Race.
Can't recall. What time is Amazing Race on?
Phil Esposito?
Phil Epps, the old wideout. Wasn't that the old wideout for the Pack?
Philip Epps, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Phil Morris, the attorney on Seinfeld.
What?
Jackie Childs. Phil Morris is his name.
Is the actor? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to finish the show, or you want to just keep doing this Phil thing?
Phil Margera, who's known as Bam Margera, a reality TV star.
I think you're cheating now.
What tipped you off? Him scrolling through his iPhone?
Yeah, it's running out. Running out of Phils.
We're running out of time on a couple of our poll questions. One of them, if Milwaukee Bucks minority owner Aaron Rodgers showed up at Fiserv Forum to attend a Bucks game in the next few weeks and was shown on the Jumbotron, would you cheer him or boo him? 73.5% of you are cheering. 26.5% of you are booing. I think there'd be more people that say they would cheer that wouldn't do anything. They just sort of stand there and shrug. But that wasn't an option in this poll question.
Yeah, I just think the fact that there's so few so far that would just boo because, as you so eloquently put, the restaurant card deal. You go and do that. There are not as many folks. I think more people are coming around to Aaron's career and his whole thing, and the fact that he's not coming in to try and beat your Green Bay. He is rooting with you. He is with you when it comes to our basketball team.
Our other poll question was about your expectations for the Packers this season. Only 12.5% of the 3,000-plus votes say total rebuild / stink. 500-ish, 48.8%. Sneak into the playoffs, 24.6%. Win the NFC North, 14.1%. Before we go, Mark Dominic. Unfortunately, his name is not Phil. Phil Savage, correct. Former GM of the Browns.
Ah, yeah. Phil Savage, yeah.
Phil, don't call me Mark Dominic, the former Buccaneers GM, was doing a conference call for Sirius XM NFL Radio, according to Bill Huber, and he speculated that perhaps the Rodgers trade is basically done, and all they're waiting on is to see how the draft falls in the first 12 picks in order to do a pick swap. Speculative. It is speculative. But I thought, what better place to finish today than with the pick swap? Missing out on Phil Longo may be disappointing, but talking about a pick swap never is.
If that happens, I'll probably be very, very unbearable that Friday morning when that pick swap
more so than usual.
And that is the crux of how this deal got finished off.
Oh, my God. I don't even want to think about that.
I hope you guys will bow down and say thank you, old T,
for your service.
For being you. Yes.
That would be pretty amazing. It would be. It would be absolutely amazing. Would it top Kissing Cousins and then the Packers and Vikings tying? When we used to do headlines in very brief form, which has not happened in 4 or 5 years now. Would it top predicting a tie?
No, it's impossible. To predict a tie is ludicrous. It was ludicrous then. This just, again, this makes sense, what Mark Dominic is saying. Because if the board doesn't fall, but then I guess my question back is, wouldn't the Packers say, wouldn't the Packers want this regardless? And with the Jets, that's the part. I don't think it's as buttoned up as Mark Dominic is saying.
I don't think so either. By the way, Josh DiMaggio already stating for the record that if the pick swap happens, he's calling in sick that day. I think we all should. That's it for us today. We look forward to talking to Phil Longo another time since we didn't connect with him today. We'll do it again tomorrow, though, this program with or without Phil's. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point.
with Freddie Coleman.
Here's something else when it comes to Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. When that money starts rolling in on that money train that does not have a wall stopping in front of that track when it comes to the NFL, you wonder how many of these deals will keep happening. And when does the NFL think about having a separate salary cap for quarterbacks where it's not compromising the rest of your salary cap for your team? Now, owners won't do that unless one owner decides to say, an influential person say, this would be really, really good for the league. And it's not like we're losing money having a salary cap for quarterbacks and a salary cap for the rest of the team to keep your teams together, compete for championships. If a guy like Jerry Jones races think about that, I guarantee you all those owners will fall in line. They may not want it, but if somebody really that they believe in and as a face of their league would want that, they would definitely fall in line. There's no doubt about that. They don't want to, but you want at a certain point. They may not have a choice because they don't mind paying quarterbacks money, but they're going to pay them a lot of money to that level that they never saw coming.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, Greg Scalzo here. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
Is that like a button, like a preset that just happens when you hit a certain age and all of a sudden you start making unnecessary noises?
You can never be too sure.
Yeah, I make them all the time. Well, like my wife, I have big lungs.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Takes time to get them filled with air.
How do you know your wife has big lungs?
Take a look.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. One's a Marquette Hall of Famer.
Packers are in business selling tickets, pal.
What? The other may or not make things up from time to time.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Business for winning games.
No,
you
they're
win
not.
games, you
No,
sell
they're not.
tickets.
Homer and Tony.
They're in the business of being relevant, not winning.
It's all
What?
about
What do you
winning.
mean what?
90% of it is winning.
Phil's winning. They spend some more money to get free agents and stop trying to develop everybody.
13-3 is winning.
13-3
You don't
is
have
winning.
to win a Super Bowl.
Okay,
to
like
sell
I
tickets.
said, being relevant, not winning.
Weekdays 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN.
Pavelski plays tomorrow night.
From the ESPN studios at Pier 17 in the Seaport District of New York City, this is Greeny with Mike Greenberg on ESPN Radio. You can also listen and watch the show on the ESPN app.
Back and better than ever, Greeny, presented by Progressive Insurance. Delighted to have you along for the ride as I am back here and ready to roll. Graziano is here. Louis Riddick will be here in a second. We have 8 million things to get to. Huge night in the NBA. The NHL playoffs are underway. Mel Kiper is along with the latest from his mock draft, and we have the huge football signing that doesn't do one of the things we thought maybe it would. All that and more. Let's go.
Here we go! Only one place to start.
Breaking NFL news, a mega payday for Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts.
He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl. He got the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
He's earned it, not just because of his exceptional play on the field, but his leadership as well.
All right, Jalen Hurts becomes, at least for the moment, the highest paid player in the history of the National Football League. And our one place to start is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. NFL insider extraordinaire Dan Graziano and my man Louis Riddick as we get set for next week's NFL draft. Good enough to hang out after we wrap up Get Up. So, as I mentioned in the open there, we have so many storylines from so many different sports today. We'll just take them piece by piece, and because these guys were here, we'll start with the football of it. So, Graziano, actually, Louis, let me start with you.
Yeah.
because I want to tell the story of Jalen Hurts before we get to the impact.
Yeah.
Like, the impact of his contract is going to be significant on the team and on Lamar Jackson and his pursuit of what he's in pursuit of. But too often in sports in general, and I'm doing this 30 years, when something bad happens, we talk about it all day long. Let's take a moment and celebrate a young man who has done everything exactly right from the beginning and has disproven the idea, Lewis, that nice guys finish last.
Yeah, look, he's taken the uncommon route, which is to not seek out the path of least resistance, but to meet adversity, meet challenges head on time after time after time. And, and it's not always, like, everything has not always been set up for success for this young man. Until recently, until the past 2 years, quite honestly, in Philadelphia, he has had different coaches, different coordinators, different voices in his ear every single year of his career since high school up until these past 2 years. And he's never complained. You never hear a word about him saying, hey, look, things are stacked against me. Things are going wrong against me. When he got benched for Tua Tagovailoa in Alabama, he could have left. He didn't say a word. He just went back and did his work. When they called on him, he came in. He rescues their season. He makes big plays. Then he transfers and goes to Oklahoma. People say, look, you're basically just profiting off of their offense, off of Lincoln Riley's offense. You're really not an NFL caliber passer. He goes to Philadelphia. Dan, I know you're going to talk about this. He's not even expected to play. Carson Wentz was supposed to be his team. He gets his shot, and what does he do in every subsequent year since he's gotten his shot? He's gotten better and better and better, all the while taking not the path of least resistance, but continuing to fight through the roadblocks that are put in front of him. So when you get guys like this who get paid, for me, as a guy who looks at things through a GM perspective, I could sleep very well at night paying him the money because I know this. Just because he got his money now doesn't mean he's going to rest on his laurels and stop trying to push the envelope as far as how good he can be.
I remember the night he got benched in the national championship game at halftime for Tua. And, someone who has a reporter's perspective, Jalen Hurts was interviewed on the field after that game on camera. And I remember coming away from that thinking, that was impressive. Like, the way he handled it, he talked about how great it was to win. He made his contribution to it. Yeah, like, I remember thinking that young man handled that exactly the right way, and it told me something about him. And then the other thing I remember about him is before his rookie year, late in training camp, I was writing something for ESPN.com about, like, expectations for the rookies. Burrow, Herbert, Tua, a couple guys expected to start right away. And I remember talking to Jalen's quarterback coach, Quincy Avery, who works with a bunch of these guys. And he's, what's he doing? He said, well, it's mental reps and just trying to be as prepared as possible for whatever happens, right? And talking about the stuff he was doing to be ready to play when and if he was called on. And sure enough, he was by the end of that year. He just always seemed to have the right frame of mind about everything.
You know what? I'm glad you just brought that up, about always being ready. Greeny, I think, like, when people ask for advice, like, even when you're talking about trying to get into media, right? They go, well, just give me one piece of advice that I could use in order to eventually take advantage of an opportunity if an opportunity comes my way. I said, you just said it right there. Are you willing to work when you don't know when the payoff's going to come? Are you willing to continue to work when people aren't recognizing you? No one knows you're working. No one cares if you're working until they call you, and then they're going to care to see if you're ready to go or not. Most people say, look, if I can't see the payoff, if I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, I'm not going to put in the work. Wait, why? It may never pay off, but then again, it may. And see, that's what Jalen Hurts did. He continued to work when no one cared, when no one was watching, when there was no benefit for him. And I think that's life advice, man. And that's something that most people are not willing to do. If you can't tell me when the payoff's coming, I'm not putting in the work.
And here's the thing about it that I find fascinating, particularly because I'm so in draft mindset right now. Right? We're getting, Lewis and I will both be in Kansas City next week and getting set for that. And that is so much in my head right now that I don't think we were wrong. When I watched Jalen Hurts play in college, and I'm not alone. Right. I'm not even a scout. I'm just a fan.
Sure.
He was not a good enough passer. Nick Saban knew he wasn't a good enough. He didn't trust him to throw the ball in big moments. He was not a good enough passer. He has disproven something that I did not think was possible, which is the idea that that accuracy could be taught. I thought that was just something you were born with. You could make yourself better at a lot of things. He went from being a bad passer to being a great passer. I thought that was not possible to do.
It's a great reminder for everybody who's going to watch the draft next week about development. He's not the same player he was when he was drafted. He's a better player because he found out what he needed to do and he worked on it with the right people, surround him. So, remember when these guys get picked, where are they going? Who's going to coach them? And how do you expect them to develop over the first few years of their career? Because we lose that. Like these draft picks are seen as like these sort of known quantities. He's going to be this. He'll plug in here. The development aspect is so critical, and so few people pay attention to it.
The draft is just the beginning. It's just the beginning of the journey. Look, there's a 3-phase process to team building, right? And I say it all the time. There's the scouting and evaluation part. There's the valuation and selection part, which is what we're about to get to, the valuation of these players and then selecting them, and then the development and implementation phase, which is the most important part. And look, Josh Allen should have taught everybody a lesson when it comes to quarterbacks in particular. Do not take what a guy did in college and just automatically extrapolate it to that's exactly what his career is going to be in the pros, because the circumstances change. These guys have access to much more development than what they had in college. And you know who was a good guy to talk to about this, quite honestly? Jordan Palmer has tutored a lot of these guys. Jordan Palmer tutored Josh Allen. He's right now working with Will Levis, and he breaks this down to an absolute science as far as when you're talking about accuracy, tying your feet with your hips, with your torso, with your delivery, your mindset, how to overcome adversity, how to overcome bad throws, bad decisions, how to capitalize on good decisions, how to kind of tone yourself down, keep yourself in this proper headspace. All these things, especially when you're talking about quarterback play an integral part in whether or not you're going to take your game to the next level. And anyone who has ever met Jalen Hurts, talked to Jalen Hurts, watched an interview with Jalen Hurts, he's about as even keel and level-headed as it gets. And you know what? Right now, the greatest passer who we believe that this game may have ever seen, you think he didn't go through some development down in Kansas City, that being Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
You think he would just be that guy no matter where he went? And for people, whoever says that he would have been the same guy no matter where he went, that is not true.
Right.
That is not true.
But the difference is, and you brought it up at the beginning, Patrick Mahomes was put in the perfect situation, and he capitalized.
That's right.
Jalen Hurts was put in the worst possible situation time and time again, and they wound up in the same place.
That's right.
Right, staring at each other eye to eye in the Super Bowl last year, and Hurts played every bit as well as he did. That's why that's the most amazing part of the story.
That's makeup. That's personal and football character. That's who are you? Who are you really? Again, it goes back to that thing like I had said. Are you willing to work when you don't know when the payoff is going to come? Are you willing to put in the work?
I've never even met him, and yet I felt so good for him yesterday.
Yeah, man.
I've literally never met the man in my life. All right, the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone with AutoZone. I don't have a minute here before I have to let you guys go, so I won't play it for you. I'm going to play this soundbite a little bit later in this radio show. But I will just right now tell you that Adam Schefter yesterday on NFL Live told Dan Orlovsky, I think he sort of phrased it as, I'll make you a bet, that only one quarterback goes in the top 3 next week.
Ooh.
Now, that is clearly not what our expectation has been all along. There was a moment in time there we thought the first 3 picks would all be quarterbacks. Certainly at least 2 of the first 3 would include Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. So if indeed we get to the 3rd pick Thursday night, Lewis, and we have seen Bryce Young go, and then in some order Will Anderson and Jalen Carter go, which is how I assume that would be.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to say, this is where, to me, this is where mistakes are made. Late in this draft process, where no games have been played.
Right.
January, February, March, April. Nobody's been playing any football. But all of a sudden now, a guy who, in this case, if Bryce Young goes number 1 overall, a guy like C.J. Stroud has all of a sudden been deemed some kind of risk in terms of maybe he doesn't quite fit the bill of being a guy who's a number 2 overall guy or a number 1 overall guy. And this is where I think mistakes are made, because all of a sudden, like a whole bunch of hands start getting put into this pot at this late stage of the draft evaluation process. And I think you start overthinking some things. Now, I will be shocked if that happens. But then again, Maybe I won't be, because we've seen crazy things like this happen in late in stages of the evaluation process. But C.J. Stroud, I'll tell you what, if he's that guy who falls in particular, that one guy in particular, I will be watching this season with the kind of intensity that I haven't watched in a long time, because I believe he has it all.
Be a great break for the Colts at 4.
Oh, my. Are you kidding?
Like, I'm not in the business of doubting Adam, right? But where I worry about his bet is if Houston does not take a quarterback at 2, all of a sudden that Arizona pick at 3 is a hot commodity. Someone might come up to that pick to take a quarterback.
Right.
There may be competition
but they might not,
for it.
is the point
I
he's
know.
making.
I get it.
And Lewis, back to what you were saying, like if you're just, I understand that quarterbacks get, there's more value in a quarterback.
Yeah.
So, but if I told you right now who's the best prospect, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, or C.J. Stroud, it wouldn't be a no-brainer that the quarterback is the higher-rated prospect than those two other guys, I guess is what I'm asking.
It's not a no-brainer. I mean, it's subjective. But I will tell you that.
Aren't those two guys both great?
Will Anderson and Jalen Carter?
And Jalen Carter.
Yeah, but
Carter has all the off-the-field questions. I get it.
Exactly. But you know what? But see, like, that can't just be, and I get it, that's good, but he's a great player. But I get it, he's got some issues, but he's a great player. Because that I get it part has derailed many people's careers.
I understand.
To where the on-the-field part doesn't even matter. And with Will Anderson, as great as this young man is, I mean, we just sat here and talked to him.
Yes.
As great as this young man is.
Nick loves him.
I can tell you this. I can tell you this definitively. There are defensive coaches, there are defensive head coaches, there are scouts, there are general managers that go, we're not quite sure if this guy really is that guy. Meaning the dude who, on third down, 2 minutes to go, is going to put your quarterback on the ground because he's just got more than the tackle he's going to go against. I'm just telling you, there's people who have those questions.
Von Miller is the comp that everyone is he that? Can he become that?
Is he that now? No. Look, see, Von is one of the best ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
But as a
I'm not
prospect,
saying
he
it to
was
you.
what he
I'm not
was,
saying
yeah.
it to you to say that's silly to ask me. I'm saying when Von came out of school.
Right.
Von was a much better pure pass rusher.
That's what I mean. I don't mean that he's going to become that player.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But a guy who's just going to terrorize quarterbacks on third down for the rest of his life.
And see, now it's just all a matter of value, right? Now, I'm not saying Will isn't a top 10 player.
Yeah.
He's damn sure a first rounder. But when we're talking about, do you take him over C.J. Stroud, who, by all accounts, many believe, and I believe, is a franchise quarterback? Look, Jalen Carter, if he can keep his head on straight and he can mature. Look, he threw people around like they were kids.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, the tape is ridiculous. But the same thing that we're praising guys like Jalen Hurts for, that resilience, commitment to the process, never say die, never run from adversity, always meet things head on. Those are the same kind of things that I'm sure people are going to go, does Jalen Carter have that? Does he have that kind of resilience? Does he have that kind of stick-to-itiveness?
I'll just say, if I'm Houston, if I have fallen in love with Will Levis, and I don't know that they have, I have the 12th pick in this draft, too. Houston's got 2 and 12. You can take the best defensive player and still take a quarterback you like. He probably will be there.
Are you saying that you heard that they fell in love with Will Levis?
No. I'm saying that's the explanation for why you don't take a quarterback up there.
I got you. And you know what? I'm probably going to be called a Will Levis defender. But I do believe that the story has not been written yet for this young man the way in which many people are trying to write it already.
Mel loves him, too. I'm late. I'm sorry. You guys are the best. Graz and Lewis, I could sit here. I could keep you both for 2 hours, but I'm not allowed. Yeah. So, guys, thank you. Lewis, I'll see you next week. Greeting presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive protects your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and RV, and could save you money. Visit Progressive.com. My NBA takes are next. It's Greeny on ESPN Radio.
The 2023 NFL Draft.
So you ready for the draft? Let's get started.
Live from downtown Kansas City, Missouri.
The NFL Draft is officially open.
It all begins with round 1, Thursday, April 27th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
With the first pick.
This is Greeny.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com/JOY.
A wide array of opportunities abound at Waste Management.
During the whole pandemic, Waste Management didn't have us laid off. I didn't get pay cuts, all that, keeping all of our benefits the same. They'll pay for your bachelor's degree, they'll pay for my master's. Next year, they'll be willing to pay for my wife's master's and kids, and to show that they're really about putting their people first and growing the business within. That's incredible.
Join the Waste Management family. Just search online, Waste Management Careers.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Looking for your next night out? Q Club of Wisconsin is the hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what you got going on over there, buddy?
Hey, Gary, there's so much going on here. We've got all your favorite teams on our TVs, more pool tables than you know what to do with, and live local bands playing on Saturdays. Plus, we got bocce leagues all summer long that we're signing teams up for right now. And, of course, our fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays.
And stop by for brunch on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. Check out QClubOfWisconsin.com.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And you know, there's more to being a local Wisconsin bank than perfectly pronouncing Oconomowoc or Waukesha. Or is it Waukesha? But rest assured, at Great Midwest Bank, we understand the local community and economy because we're a part of it. At GMB, we provide customized lending products that others just can't offer. Experience a hometown banking difference. Head to greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Since 1964, Ewald Automotive has been on a journey to make car buying easier for your family. So if you want an easy experience, head to Ewald's 59th anniversary sale. Ewald guarantees the lowest price and includes their exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on new vehicles. Plus, with live market pricing, you'll never overpay for a used car. Shop over 1,000 vehicles. Ewald's anniversary sale is going on now through month end.
Go to ewaldauto.com. The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Cheers to selection and savings. They are worth celebrating. I mean, have you tried to buy a car, a house, or even lumber lately? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where, since 1960, we've consistently provided the best selection and the lowest prices in southeastern Wisconsin. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, and wine. Over 14,000, actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. And what about our prices? Oh, they're low, really low. Our long-standing relationships and enormous buying power allow us to pass savings directly to you. The result? Low prices every single day. I'll drink to that. Discount Liquor, locally owned and family operated with 2 locations. In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount Liquor.
Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, are you ready for a new shower? If you are, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for over 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's Gary Olson here from Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape from the office? Or maybe you want to impress a potential client? Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center offers a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play courses like St. Andrews, Whistling Straits, and more. Even when it's not perfect golf weather outdoors, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and their best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer. At just $35 an hour for a bay, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is a perfect weekday getaway. Book your bay today at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6 to 8 count Mega Rolls Angel Soft Bath Tissue, $6.99. 5 to 8 count box or 20 count mini selected varieties Nestle Drumstick Sundae Cones, $7.49. 5.3 ounce cup yogurt or 7 ounce bottle smoothie selected varieties Dan and Light and Fit Zero Sugar or 2 Good Greek yogurt or smoothie, 4 for $5. 20 ounce package selected varieties Butoni family size pasta, $5.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
Show podcasts, team-centric feeds, and listening live whenever, wherever. All of that in the palm of your hand. The Wisconsin On Demand app, available in the Apple or Android App Store.
All right, we're rolling along. Greeny with you here on ESPN Radio. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. My top 5 NBA playoff takes are coming up momentarily here. In fact, they are 30 seconds away after I spent the weekend in L.A. We did 5 NBA playoff games over the course of 2 days. It was great fun. I have a million reactions, and in particular to Draymond last night. So we'll get to all of that after this word from ZipRecruiter. The best teams start with great talent, but finding the right people can be a challenge. It's like sports scouts researching top athletes across the country to find potential picks for pro teams. When it comes to hiring, ZipRecruiter can help you find the right candidates for your team fast. ZipRecruiter sends your job to over 100 top job sites. And ZipRecruiter is so effective, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny. ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny. ZipRecruiter is the smartest way to hire. All right, so am I told that Bubba has something he wants? He has a bone to pick with me as I make my return here. We have assembled the assembled members of the hashtag crew. Hashtag Hembo is here. Hashtag Bubba. Hashtag Cam. All together. Bubba, am I told you have a bone to pick with me?
Well, it's Cam and I together.
What is the bone?
We're both very happy with how things are going for your book. Both of you guys. It's been a few weeks now since the book has come out.
Yeah.
We noticed when it first came out, looked on Get Up, pretty much everyone on Get Up, all the analysts, all your fellow friends on there, all had copies.
Yeah.
Free copies. So we're figuring, all right, it's been a couple weeks now, 2-3 weeks. When are a couple copies going to make our way to Bristol for your radio producers who are just, helping you out on a day-to-day basis, and you're just old pals here? When are we going to get a couple of copies sent to Bristol?
Well, it should be pointed out that we couldn't get copies of the book there for the first week that it was out because it sold out as quickly as it did, and now it is just the supply, I should say, has been replenished in the last few days.
Happy to hear that.
Which is delightful. So, yes, so you're saying that neither Bubba, you nor Cam have been able to receive copies of the book. You did not get the ones that we sent.
Interesting. Yeah, as far as I know, no copies have been sent to Bristol, Connecticut.
That's right. As far as you know, that's correct.
I've checked my P.O. box.
Right.
Not
no,
there.
As far as you know, copies have not arrived. You don't know whether they were sent or not. You only know they haven't arrived.
Bubba, here's what I've learned throughout this process. I've learned that I have 2 kinds of friends. The one kind of friend is the supportive kind of friend who knows, maybe I might wind up sending them a copy someday, and maybe they deserve one because we know each other so well. That's a nice thing to do, but they just go ahead and buy the book to support us, right, in this endeavor.
Right.
There's another kind of friend that thinks they're entitled to the free book and that they should be shipped said free book without even having to ask. Right? That's the kind of friend that Cam and Bubba are.
There is a huge difference between your friends outside of ESPN, Himbo.
Yep.
Who are not helping to promote this book on this radio show every day. I would like to point out. I have also never met you, Himbo. I think you're a great guy. I wouldn't consider us friends.
Call him
I
Paul.
would consider us colleagues. And that's a big difference.
I think that was
between your
unnecessary.
friends.
I mean, I don't know that had that part of it may be true, but I don't know that it needed to be spoken aloud.
I said he
Cam.
was
That's
a
pretty
great guy.
strong. I mean, you and I met for like 30 seconds in the calf that day, and I made the observation that you're much taller than I thought you were going to be. But I think that to call Himbo out in that way is, I don't know that was necessary.
He called us out for begging for this book. It's just simply,
the way I
nice
look
thing to
at it
do.
is that I'm thinking, look, you get us a couple free copies for ourselves.
Right.
Then I'm thinking, all right, I have my own copy. I'm not opposed to then maybe buying some for gifts for other people.
Right.
But I think you'd at least take care of your own. I'm not asking for free copies for me and my parents and my friends and my dog. I'm just saying, can me, your producer, the person you've known for 10, 12, 13 years, can we get a single copy sent to Bristol? And then, hey, if I like the book, maybe I see some numbers I like in there, maybe I'll get a Father's Day gift. Maybe I'll get a gift for my uncle. Maybe I'll get, then I'll buy some things. I'll be happy to support you.
It's a fascinating strategy that he's bringing up here, which is that we get influencers like Bubba and Cam copies of the book because that might then inspire others to go ahead and do
Bubba,
it.
here's the thing. If you or Cam, regardless of what you consider me, friend, colleague, enemy, whatever, if you guys wrote a book, I would definitely pre-order the book as a means of support, regardless of whether or not it was appearing on a show that I produced, which you both are. So the fact that you have still not...
it's easy to say that now. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Write
a book.
You know what has actually jumped into my mind as we've had this conversation? If you were to ask Cam, and he's the one who just brought it up, to describe his relationship with Himbo, honestly, I think, and if you gave him truth serum, he would describe you as a necessary evil. I think it's friend, colleague, whatever it is. I think he would say, he's valuable to what I do, so I have to put up with him.
Cam, would you even describe me as valuable and necessary, or would you describe me as an unnecessary evil?
No, I think Greeny is going a bit too far. I meant no offense whatsoever. I have never met you in person. Colleague,
but the
very
way you
smart
said
person.
that, see, the way you said, I've never even met you in person.
But Hembo lined me up with other friends who are asking for the book. I was simply pointing out, I work on this show, and,
Who was the best man in your wedding?
John Buchanan.
Did John Buchanan buy a copy of the book? Did you just send him one?
No, he bought 3.
And did you send him a free one?
I did not.
See, so this is what I told Stephen A. when he. So Stephen A. had his book come out in January, and I've done several books before, and he starts handing me one. I said, no, don't give me a free copy of this book. Don't get in the habit of giving people the book. You want them to buy the book. I said to him, Stephen A., I'm going to go, I have a bunch of them in the office. I want you to sign them for people. And that's how I have always approached this. If I just start giving you things, then you won't buy them for yourself. So anyway, we should have gotten copies for it. I will say, though, Bubba and Cam was an oversight that, on our part. We probably should have thought of them when we did do this. We've taken a lot of time on this here, and I really want to get to my basketball takes. But I've been promising this on Twitter for a couple of days, that the book is going to debut at number 6 on the New York Times nonfiction bestseller list, which is a ridiculously high number. And that is due exclusively to the support and the loyalty and the excitement and everything else of the people who have been with us for years here. And I can't... It's the highest. So if you take out memoirs, sports memoirs sometimes do very well. You write a book about Joe Namath or something like that, and that book can do very well. But for a book that is just a sports book, which one would think does not appeal to anyone who is not a hardcore sports fan, which immediately diminishes the overall possibility of your audience, to be number 6 on the New York Times nonfiction list is almost impossible. It's the highest that any book of its kind has been in at least 2 years. I could just say, all we can say is thank you. Thank you for your interest in it and your excitement about it. I'm getting calls from everywhere every single day doing talk shows and all that kind of stuff because people are into it. It was also number 8 in Publishers Weekly and number 9 in the Wall Street Journal. So it's a ridiculous thing that has happened here. In my whole career, nothing like this has ever happened. I've never been more pleasantly surprised by anything that has happened in my career. So the book is now available everywhere. If you're interested, by all means, unless you're Bubba and Cam, please go out and pick it up. And we will continue with that as we go. But number 6 in the New York Times is certainly well beyond what anyone was expecting. Let's get to the takes.
Greeny's Takes.
All right, here we go to the NBA playoffs, which I spent my weekend covering. And let's start with this.
Number 5.
The Celtics are now the favorites, the betting favorites, to win the NBA championship, and that, to me, is exclusively a function of Giannis's injury. If you told me right now Giannis is going to be fine, meaning this back injury is not going to continue to hamper him, it's not, to me, a function of whether he comes back or not, but is he capable of continuing to be the best player in the NBA, which, when healthy, I believe he is, then I still like Milwaukee better. The Celtics got a better draw here. It's just that simple. These teams are where they are because the Hawks beat Miami in Miami last week, but the Heat are the team you don't want to play. I'd much rather play Atlanta than Miami at this moment in time. So I think the Celtics have an easier draw. They will win that series in 5 at max, but I still would put the Bucks as my favorite unless you tell me Giannis is impaired by this injury.
So what percentage does Giannis have to be for you? Does it have
close
to be
to 100?
Okay.
Close to 100. With Giannis as the best player on the floor, then I think the Bucks are the best team. If Giannis is not that, then they're not the best team.
I'm just a little skeptical, even with Giannis at 100%, with a player of that usage, like every possession practically. The Celtics just have more way to go. Tatum, Brown, and Derek White, they combined for 78 points in that game, in Game 1. They led by as many as 32.
I understand, but it's the matchup. They're playing an Atlanta team that is not... Look, the NBA, even the NFL has become a little like this now. When they added a 7th team to each conference, the play-in is a wonderful thing for the NBA. I love that we have it. I loved hosting it last week, and the play-in was a great idea, and it should continue. But largely, the play-in is a regular season enhancer. It is meant to enhance the regular season, and it has succeeded enormously in that. The flip side of it is you're going to wind up with some teams in the NBA playoff that just don't really belong there with everybody else. And that's what we're looking at here. Don't pay attention to what the Celtics swept Brooklyn last year in the first round. The Celtics are very good. The Bucks remain the best team if Giannis is healthy.
Number 4.
Number 4 on Greeny's takes here. Kawhi, I described him on TV this morning as being kind of like Halley's Comet because he comes around so infrequently that you forget he exists. And then he flashes through the sky, and your thought is, oh, yeah, I forgot. Kawhi's a top 3 player in the league. That is not an exaggeration. Kawhi at his best, peak Kawhi, is absolutely there with anyone you want. Giannis, Tatum, KD, Steph, LeBron, whoever else you want to put. Kawhi is that good. Let me give you some numbers from his 2019 title run, which, by the way, is the last time he played. No truth to the rumor that Kawhi Leonard has not set foot on a court since he won the championship in Toronto. But in the playoffs, dating back to that run, he averages 30 points, 9 rebounds, 4.5 assists. He has been a Finals MVP twice. He's one of 3 players all time to win Finals MVP for multiple franchises. LeBron and Kareem are the others. So I think we forget just how good he is because we see it so seldom.
Yeah, the defining postseason players of this generation are LeBron, KD, and Kawhi, who on 2 separate occasions, both in 2014 and in 2019, effectively extinguished 2 different three-peats. He was the reason the Heat didn't three-peat. He was the reason the Warriors didn't three-peat. If we get any approximation of that player, they have at minimum a 50-50 chance to beat the Suns. Obviously, what happens in Game 2 is going to be enormous, even without Paul George. If he's going to average 30 points and do it efficiently and check KD the way that he did, watch out for those guys.
He does it on both ends of the floor. That's your point. He won MVP of the finals for D'ing up LeBron back in whatever year that was, 2014 or whatever. Yeah, 2014. So Kawhi makes it easy to forget because you just never see him. But he's a top 3 player in the league, and that's why they have a chance.
Number 3.
Number 3, the Lakers are going to sweep the jawless Grizzlies. And I say it that way because if the Grizzlies are not jawless, then it's not going to be a sweep. But I do not think that Ja Morant is going to be able to play the rest of this series. That hand is not okay, and it isn't going to be okay. Now, that's not to say that he won't give it a go. I think he'll play. I think he'll try. They'll tape it up. They'll do whatever. He was already playing with a brace on his hand. He already had a hand. That reckless disregard, that reckless abandon with which he plays is both his blessing and his curse. It makes him maybe the most entertaining player in the entire league to watch. But he got hurt the way you always knew he was going to get hurt. Flying through the air, just hurling himself into all of these bodies in the lane, and eventually something bad is going to happen. And in this case, it was his right hand being there to break his fall, and Anthony Davis landing on it, and his hand snapping backwards in a direction that it's not supposed to. I don't care what the x-rays say. There's no way in the world that guy is going to be himself again in the next week, and their season is going to be over.
You know what I hate? I hate the fact that in Game 1 of this series and in the Bucks Heat series, that the best player on the floor, or one of the best players on the floor, on a pretty much identical play, wound up hurting themselves and potentially badly. In Ja's case, it's the hand. In Giannis' case, it's the back. These guys are flying so high in the air. People are sliding beneath them and taking charges. That's a conversation that we do need to have.
We will, and as we continue. Let me lose the music on that. Let me do a quick break here. We'll come back with my top 2 takes from the NBA playoff weekend. We'll have plenty of time for reaction as well. That's after this word from Vivid Seats. Finally, baseball is back. Swing into the season with tickets to the action. Plus, with basketball and hockey heating up, now's a great time to experience a game. Vivid Seats is proud to be the official ticketing partner of ESPN. From on the glass to in the stands, Vivid Seats has a great ticket price to all the games. Every crack of the bat, every dribble down the court. Catch it all with Vivid Seats. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats, experience it live. We're back in a flash on ESPN Radio.
Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you could save.
Will They Find a Home? Sponsored by Geico. Susan has always wanted to live in a chateau. I like a certain je ne sais quoi. While Jake is more into the Cape Cod style home.
It's a classic look.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Susan and Jake found a Cape Cod style home where they will only speak French.
Bonjour, je t'aime, merci beaucoup, and cordon bleu.
You'll get better with time. Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code ESPN16 for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's code ESPN16. Use code ESPN16 for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Yes, we do have availability. Those dates for how many guests?
Andrea's Boutique Hotel is the destination to tie the knot.
Oh, you want the whole property?
She needs an assistant to catch the bookings bouquets.
249 guests, huh? Oh, and 3 dogs.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken,
A well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
It's our lowest prices of the season at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, shop unbeatable deals on the things you need for spring, like assorted bags of Timberline mulch, 4 for $12. 5-quart jugs of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil, only $22.99 after $10 mail-in rebate. Your choice of CRC Pro Series brake part cleaners, just $5.99. And for rewards members, all Skechers footwear is buy one, get one half price. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.